The following is a presentation of Grayson Publishing.
Football, while it is a reckoning to individuals, is a bounty for a platoon. The game brings communities together because of one name that shines bright on the front of the jersey. The spirit of team colors, mascots, cheerleaders, and all that comes with the strange fascination that we have with the warrior-spirited game pumps life into a community. Some towns even hang their hat on their football team. Love it or hate it, America is obsessed with football.
Grisham to the 30, to the 25, barrels over a defender. This is going to be Wall running right side, trying to keep it himself, looking for a block for Matthews. He's got the 10, he's got the 5. It is touchdown time in Texas. 25, 20, 15, kiss him goodbye. It is touchdown time in Texas for Tyler Grisham.
Howe Bulldogs football is brought to you by Cavender Home Theater, Sweetie Pies by Karen, Howe Mercantile, Sonic of Howe, Scoggins Funeral Home, Carrie's Coffee Company.
3-yard touchdown for Tyler Grisham, and the Bulldogs regain the lead.
Howe Bulldog football is also brought to you in part by Douglas Propane, Buck Snort Barbecue, Abby's Restaurant, Attorney Micah Belden, and the Howe Athletic Booster Club.
Howe, your Bulldogs are by-district champions again, back-to-back years.
Now let's go live to the stadium with Monty Walker and Michael Mosier.
On the back of my hotel. Oh, yeah.
Well, it is football time in Texas, and it is Silver Spike time in Texas, here in Van Alstyne, Texas, where the 54th meeting between the two schools, which started in 1941 on a fateful October night. It actually might have been October afternoon back in 1941. It was a game in Van Alstyne, and the Bulldogs lost 31-7 in that very initial matchup between these two towns that later became big rivals over the years. Van Alstyne owns the record in the series, 17 wins, or actually 34 wins for Van Alstyne, 17 for Howe, and 2 ties. The Panthers are on a 9-game winning streak in the series, which goes back to 2001. Howe last beat Van Alstyne back in 2000. It was a 14-10 win at Panther Stadium, but not this Panther Stadium. It was at the old Panther Stadium, closer to downtown on grass. Of course, here we are in a new facility, rather somewhat new facility here in Van Alstyne with turf. We're way up high in the sky, and we had to walk up here. And on the far sideline, right now it's a kind of a small crowd, but we're just in the pregame show. I have a feeling it's going to be packed on both sides tonight, Michael.
Yeah, I think it's going to be packed tonight. It's going to be a good game. So I know where I'm going to be.
Well, I tell you what, there's a drone flying around. It's going to get a great shot of the action tonight. That Silver Spike, the trophy, will be presented tonight to one team. And, this is a Howe Bulldog broadcast, so we obviously are hoping that it is a Howe Bulldog win tonight. They will be in all white pants, white jerseys, with the black stripe down the side of the white pants. A nice-looking look for the Howe Bulldogs. And the Panthers will be in their blue uniforms. They have not yet come out in those yet, so we will give you those descriptions in just a moment. But for right now, we're going to let you listen to the Coaches Show with Zach Hudson. Back in a moment with more Howe Bulldog football.
Your starting lineup on defense.
And now it's time for the Douglas Propane Howe Bulldogs Head Coaches Show with Zach Hudson.
All right, Coach, a 35-7 loss to Pottsboro. Really good team a week ago. We knew they were going to be a good team, and you talked about in the Coaches Show that playing those good teams early are kind of good because they sometimes expose your weakness. And did you find that to come true?
We did. We have some goals that we're going to put into place for our team now, and as a whole, and getting 2 first downs on every drive, and stopping them every drive, the first drive of each half. And I think those are 2 big goals that we need to reach. to help with momentum and help with field position. I think that's about 80% of the game these days in high school football. And you know, if they get that momentum from the get-go, it's hard to slow it down sometimes. And then at the same time, you know, if your offense doesn't score, you at least got to change the field. And, you know, we struggled with that the other night, and you cannot struggle with that against a great football team. So, you know, my hat's off to them. They did a good job. But, you know, there's some little things in there that our kids and our coaches, we can look at and fix and do better. So next time we play, you know, it's a different turnout.
I thought your defense played exceptionally well, especially in the secondary, holding Miles Mitchison and their great offensive weapons to under 200 yards passing. I thought that was a good thing for you guys.
Well, it was. You know, I thought our kids did a great job of, you know, knowing what their weapons are, taking it away, making them play left-handed and do some things that they're not used to doing. Call some plays they don't usually call. And so anytime you can do that, you're helping yourself. You know, with Hunter back there, you know, we only saw him play for about 3 quarters the whole season. So that was something different for us. We couldn't really game plan for, not knowing what we were going to see. And, you know, he's an exceptional athlete. But for the most part, I was proud of our kids. We only had 1 misalignment all night, which is pretty good for a high school football game. And so I was proud of them for going out and focusing and getting that job done.
We know you're getting some key players back from injury. Brent Masters, we thought we might see him on Friday night. Is he back and ready to go for this week?
He's 100%. You know, last week there were still some little issues bothering him a little bit, and so he was on a need-be basis. You know, if somebody went down, he could go in, but we weren't going to put him in the game unless somebody went down and we needed him. And he just needed kind of that extra weekend and that extra week just to strengthen those muscles up. But I think he's 100% now. He's ready to go, and I'm ready to see him out there.
All right, let's take a quick timeout, and we'll hear from Douglas Propane.
Here in North Texas, you know, we get ice storms, but we don't let that slow us down. We still take care of our priority customers. If we have customers that we can't reach with the large truck, we'll actually send them smaller trucks and transfer some propane out of cylinders to get them through until the ice thaws and we can get the larger vehicles in there to make a delivery.
Coach, the big Silver Spike week, which is sometimes can be a headache for coaches because of all the distractions. Had a parade on Saturday. Van Alstyne had a community pep rally Wednesday night. I guess it's one of those things where maybe it's odd to have a parade after a loss, but maybe that's one way to, you know, say that game's over and let's start a new week.
Well, we watched film with our kids on Saturday, and we're done about 10:45, 11 o'clock. And at that time, we go through watch film and things like that with our kids, and then coaches know, players know that the previous week's over with. And so the parade for us was a good time to spend some time with each other. We didn't have to sit there and talk about the game and what we did right and what we did wrong, but we could just kind of hang out with each other a little bit with the coaches and the players. But you know, the rivalry's a little different for especially coaches that don't, you know, grow up here. But players, you know, unless they had parents and grandparents that have lived here that were around for that rivalry when it was bigger, you know, they haven't really been in our district, haven't played them in a couple of years. And so it's kind of lost its luster a little bit with the players. But everybody knows it's important. You know, it's everybody knows this town cares. Everybody knows that they're 7 miles down the road, and you know, there's some pride there that needs to be taken care of. So, you know, we all know it's important. It's a little different, but it is important.
Well, let's kind of talk about that rivalry a little bit because, as you mentioned, it's not really that big a deal with growing up. It's really more for the old timers and fans these days. But the kids, they just really don't have that connection playing against them every year, do they?
Well, geographically, they're 7 miles away, but they seem to go south in all the regions in the district. And, you know, sometimes we're in a whole different region than them in other sports. But, you know, lately in the last, you know, years, a few years that, you know, they've realigned, we've been in another district. You know, they've been in a bigger district than we have, so they weren't even on the radar. We didn't play them, and most of the time we always go north towards the river, and for all our districts. So it's one of those things where it just turns out the way it is, and there's no really explanation for it. They are 7 miles down the road, and our kids know their kids, just like they know ours. And Parents know everybody and stuff like that. So there's still a sense of urgency and some importance to that game.
Well, what we do know about Van Alstyne is they have a running back who has over 800 yards coming into the contest tonight, and I would imagine that's one of your keys.
He is. Levi's done a great job. Garrett Patterson's OC over there, he does a great job of getting him some space to run in. He likes to cut back and do some things like that. So, it's going to be a big challenge for us. But their quarterback's a sophomore, but every week he gets a little bit better. So he's going to be a big factor in this game. What that quarterback does. So, our defense has to step up once again, stop those weapons. And our offense got turned on. Coach Miller does a great job with that defense, and it's just one of those things that we have to show up every week. We knew that going into this year. And there's not a down week. We got to show up, play our 100% every week.
So we saw about 4 or 5 passes from your quarterback a week ago. Is that something we'll see more of, or you just want to line it up and run it and make them dictate?
Well, we were struggling, running the football. And, we had some success right there in that first drive, getting a first down. We had a 4th and long. Wasn't really a punting situation, wasn't really a field goal situation. So we went for it, had some success doing it. So went back to it later on, had some guys open still. We got to do a better job of executing those plays. But every time we ran it, somebody and so it was kind of hard not to go back to it. But, most of the time other things happen during the play. And, of course, we're all old school around here, and if you can run it down the throat, we're going to run it down the throat. And there ain't no sense putting the ball in the air. But if there's an opportunity that we might could change the momentum a little bit, change the field position and things like that with the pass, and then we'll try to take advantage of it.
You've been listening to the Douglas Propane Howe Bulldogs Coaches Show with Zach Hudson. Think back to the best fried pies you've ever had. It won't compare to Sweetie Pies in Van Alstyne. Sweetie Pies has handmade apricot, apple, peach, buttermilk, chocolate, coconut, and lemon fried pies that melt in your mouth. Located at 120 South Main Street in Van Alstyne on the east side of downtown. Give them a call at 972-821-1508. You must try Sweetie Pie's signature fried pie, Sawdust. I'm not even kidding. The Howe Athletic Booster Club invites you to become a supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
And the type of kids we have, they're just hard workers and do anything you ask.
Memberships are $25 and will be available at all home games. All proceeds benefit high school and middle school athletic programs. Please join the Howe Athletic Booster Club in our efforts to support our hometown kids.
When people come here, it's something they can be proud of.
Welcome to the Senior Spotlight, where each week we will talk to a Howe Bulldog or two. Now, members of the class 2017. This week we're joined by senior defensive end Mike Helpenstell of the Helpenstell Brothers. Defensive end, other than football, what do you got going on?
Well, I'm enrolled in a delay entry program, and that's part of the Marine Corps. They prepare you for boot camp, so I'm already sworn in, got my job lined up in there, so that's basically what that is.
So you're one of those guys on awards day, you're going to get one of those like $80,000 scholarship type deals.
Yes, sir. Same with my brother. He's actually sworn into the Coast Guard, so.
Is that a family tradition?
It pretty much is. Except for the Coast Guard. Pretty much all my family has either been in the Marine Corps or the Navy. And it's not just I wanted to do it for the tradition. I also wanted to do it because of, my own set of moral standards, I guess, helping other people out. So
that's pretty awesome. So helping other people out is kind of what you're doing outside of football as well. Aren't you working somewhere?
Yes, sir. I'm a host at Jalapeno Tree over in Sherman.
So what do you do there?
Oh, it's the easiest thing I've ever done to make money, honestly. I just stand there and wait for people to come in, say hi to them, put a smile, and see them at their table.
That's it?
Yes,
that's
sir.
Pretty fun.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
All right. That sounds like a pretty good gig. Now, you also have a situation where you've got, seems like, I know you have a brother. Do you have any other siblings in the house with you?
Yes, sir. I've got another brother, 2 sisters, and 2 cousins that just recently moved in with us.
All in the same house?
Yes, sir.
So you're competing with the Harveys. How many is that?
Ooh, well, there's me, Tim, Katie, Jonathan, Maddie, Nathan, and then Natalie. So that's 7. 7 kids.
Do y'all gather around the TV? Do y'all have like 9 TVs in the house, or?
Well, we've got about 3 TVs. You know, the girls have one in their bedroom. Nathan and Jonathan have one in their bedroom, and then we have the family TV. So
that's a lot of people under one roof. So you just turned 18.
Yes, sir.
And we'll talk about that. The presidential election is going on, so you're going to get to vote for the very first time. I'm not going to ask you who you're voting for, but this has got to be one of the craziest elections, and to at least get your feet wet into something like this, your first time to vote. What do you think about the situation?
Well, I'm not really too happy with either one of the candidates, but I feel like this election really, you just got to pick your poison. So
you're learning very quickly. You're a 3-year starter here at Howe, and that means you've gone through a lot of playoff games and have a lot of experience on this football team. And how do you think that experience carries over maybe in a big game like this? What do you think? I mean, how much does that help you?
I feel like with all that playoff experience, there's a sense of calmness whenever, you're in a bad situation. I know last year whenever we played Edgewood, even though we were getting our butts kicked that first half, there was still like this sense of calmness. And then what followed that was momentum. And, as long as you keep building on momentum in a football game, that's the key to winning is momentum.
What do you think about Coach Hudson?
Oh, Coach Hudson, he's tough on us, but he cares. And, we'll go in there every Thursday and he'll tell us about, how we can get better and not just inside of football, but outside of football also. And, I feel like he's definitely a big role model to me, and defensively, I feel like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, every time I mention Coach Hudson, and I ask each one of you guys every week about Coach Hudson, and every one of you have the exact same response. You all start smiling, and then you say he's really tough on you. It just kind of cracks me up. All right, we've got a big game coming up tonight, the Silver Spike, Howe and Van Alstyne. It's the 54th meeting between the two schools. It's a long-standing rivalry, but that I guess it really doesn't mean much to you guys because you really didn't grow up playing Van Alstyne. Is it kind of strange that there's a rivalry, yet you guys don't really sense a rivalry, or do you?
Oh, I definitely sense a rivalry. Growing up away from Howe and Van Alstyne, we had rivalries with other school, and moving here, I see how the kids are getting pumped up for the game in the locker room, and, I'm right there with them.
When did you move here?
I moved here the end of my freshman year. Right as school ended.
And where'd you move from?
Johnson City, Texas.
And where is that?
That's down there between Austin and San Antonio.
So I would think this is a little bit different being up here in North Texas than down there.
Yes, sir, definitely. Down there we were in the hill country, and up here everything's flat, but the people are a lot nicer up here.
Well, let's talk about Van Alstyne and what they're going to see, or what you're going to see from them on the field. What do you expect from their offense?
I feel like they're going to try to go out and I don't feel like they're going to run it down your throat or anything. The main thing that we have to watch out for on defense is being out of position, because after watching film, I feel like that's where they'll get you is, when you mess up on defense or you have a bad snap, that's when they take advantage of that. So.
A word from Douglas Propane.
I've been in the industry for 21 years. The other day I got a call from a elderly lady on the side of the highway that wanted to thank me because one of my technicians stopped and changed her tire for her. The service goes so much further than beyond propane. It's the mentality of of the person that we have on our staff. We appreciate our customer base in Howe and surrounding communities, and go Bulldogs. Have a great year.
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete store information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
Glad to have Buck Snort Barbecue and Van Alstyne as a Howe Bulldog sponsor. How about that? That's probably a little bit different for the Van Alstyne folks, as some of their businesses helping us out. Hey, let's give you a little backdrop on this 54th Silver Spike Showdown, or Battle of the Silver Spike. In this rivalry, the most points scored by Howe is 41. That was back in 1998. The most points scored by Van Alstyne was 71. That was a home game in 1992. That was the first game in which I was not a player, and I happened to go to that game just as a spectator for the first time since like middle school, and it was 50-0 at the half, and I thought, this whole thing has changed. This isn't Howe Bulldog football anymore, as that changed in 1992. So the most combined points in a game was 91. That was in that same game in 1992. The Howe has won 17, Van Alstyne 34. There's been 2 ties. There's been 5 shutouts. 5 shutouts by Howe, 10 shutouts by Van Alstyne. The last shutout by Van Alstyne was back in 2001 when they started this 9-game winning streak over Howe. And the last shutout by Howe was back in 1985 when they won 35-0. I don't think we're going to see any shutouts tonight. Both of these offenses are pretty well secure on moving the football. Overall points, Howe has scored 664 and Van Alstyne has scored 1168. The most wins in this series by a Howe head coach was Jim Fryer. He had 4 of them in the mid to late 80s. The most losses by a Howe head coach in the series is 6, and that would be our favorite, Mr. Norman Dickey, at 6 losses. Of course, he was here for a long time. We'll give you that. Right. He also has the most wins in school history, so when you're here for a while, you rack up some of those things. Howe's record at Bulldog Stadium, a paltry 6-17. Actually, Howe plays better in Van Alstyne. The record here, 11-16 in the series. And on a neutral site, which was the very last football game I ever played, was against Van Alstyne at Clark Stadium in By District, where the Panthers won 30-8 in that contest. Howe is 10-15-1 in October versus Van Alstyne, and the largest margin of victory for Howe is 40. And we mentioned that already about Van Alstyne's largest, and we don't want to mention that again. The most rushing yards versus Van Alstyne. Now, this may come into play. However, I'm missing the 1979 game, and I don't have the stats for that one particular game, and Howe scored 40 points on Van Alstyne that night. So, when I say this, it very well might not be the record just because I'm missing that one game. But without that, the most yards Howe's rushed against Van Alstyne was 360 in 1985. That could very well come into play tonight. 359 in 1986, 324 in 1989, that was Clint Bray. And 303 in 1998, and that was Nino Falls. The most rushing yards versus Howe by Van Alstyne was 396 back in 2008, 370 in 1984, 326 in 2005, 323 in 1961, and 323 in 1965. So this rivalry goes back a long way. It goes back to 1941, as we mentioned, and both teams coming in at 4-2 records, 0-1 in the district. Van Alstyne lost to Whitesboro a week ago. They took it on the chin, 30-21 to Whitesboro over at their place. Howe took it on the chin a week ago to Pottsboro at their place, at Howe's place. 35-7 loss. So both teams suffering losses to big teams. Whitesboro and Anna for Van Alstyne, Pottsboro and Gunner for Howe. And, those are very comparable, I would think. So the schedule has been somewhat comparable. Van Alstyne has beaten Wilmer Hutchins 20-16. They beat Bonham, who's better this year. Bonham's better.
Right.
34-21. They lost to Anna 31-12. They beat Community 48-14. You can't really tell a whole lot from that. And then they beat Gainesville 20-11. Now Gainesville's not very good. I don't think Gainesville has won a game this year. But they're still a larger school, and you don't know what to tell from that. And here's Howe, who lost to Gunner in week 1, 42-14. We know what Gunner is. And here comes the Van Alstyne Panthers as the home crowd will cheer. Howe also beat Bowie 38-13. They beat Munster 37-31. Beat Quinlan Ford 44-13. And beat Caddo Mills 46-27. Those are two 4A teams, a 3A team, and a 2A team in there. And the 2A team is predicted to be state champion, if not semifinal. So not a cakewalk of the schedule for either parties here.
No, it hasn't been.
And here come the Howe Bulldogs. And the familiar fight song for the Howe Bulldogs. The officials tonight, as they're making their way momentarily with the captains.
For tonight's contest,
Lenny Adrian is the referee. The umpire, Kenneth Balkus. The head linesman, Robbie McBride. The line judge, Terrence Wright, and the back judge, Parrish Cooper. The captains for Van Alstyne, Levi Jones, the running back who you'll hear all night long, has over 800 yards coming into tonight's game. Chase Wilson will be a captain, along with Mason Adams.
Number 25, Tyler Grisham.
And for Howe,
number 89, Matt Griffin.
Andrew Griffin, Cooper Akins, Matt Griffin, and Tyler Grisham. And they are at center court right now, about to do the coin toss, visiting with each other. And our Silver Spike 54th edition is just about to be underway, as they are discussing the coin toss right now. Talking to it. There goes the coin up in the air. Levi Jones is talking to the official. And now Tyler Grisham. And it appears that Van Alstyne has won the toss, and they will receive. They want the football first. So it'll be Howe with their backs to Howe, and Van Alstyne with their backs to Van Alstyne, as Howe will be moving left to right here in the first quarter, starting this football game.
I think maybe that was planned.
The Bulldogs are defending the north end zone. How about that? They're defending their own side of the field.
That's right. They're defending our home.
We are just about ready for the national anthem. As everyone is standing, we may have a prayer just before that.
Please pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for gathering us here this evening, and we are so thankful to be in your presence and to be able to worship you as our Lord and Savior. I pray that you keep each player safe this evening and protect them from any injury. I pray that we will give you all the glory in all we do this evening. I pray that each of us will have a safe trip home. We love you so much and for all that you have done for us. May we give you all the glory and praise in all we do, and that you will be our number one priority in our lives. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Our colors tonight will be posted by.
And now we're just about ready for the national anthem.
Brendan Murphy,
as
Caleb
the
Miller,
Boy Scouts are in the end zone with the flag, about to hoist that thing up.
Darren Holcomb, Jackson Snicker, Ezekiel Harbaugh, Leonard Garcia, and Sam Wyatt.
As they announce the Boy Scouts who are about to be involved, both Howe and Van Alstyne are each staring at the flag in a single file line on their respective sidelines, ready to get this one going. Van Alstyne in their royal blue jerseys with white numbers, white pants with a small thin blue stripe down each side. Howe with their white pants with a thick black stripe down the side of their pants. White jerseys with the black sleeves and white numbers inside the black sleeves, and the big black numbers in the middle and the front and the back side.
For it is true that we the many owe so much to the few. Now let us honor America as the Van Alstyne Panther Band, under the direction of Tim Fulton, plays our national anthem.
And with that, we will hear our national anthem. As Old Glory dangles with a small south wind, the full moon hides right behind the clouds momentarily, and it is silver spike time in Texas.
Ha ha, let's go.
So the Howe Bulldogs will be kicking off here, and it will be Honecker doing the kicking. Back deep, I would presume, will be D'Angelo Alexander, who is their all-star receiver and kick returner and punter. Alexander does it all, but let's see who goes back. It looks like starting out, it will be Grayson Leinert, and also it'll be Levi Jones back with him. Now, Jones, you're going to hear all night tonight, again, coming in with over 800 yards. And Van Alstyne will line up expecting the onside kick here to start the game, but it doesn't appear they're going to get that. And now coming up late onto the field is John Stapleton, who lines up on the kickoff team. Honecker runs to the ball, swings the slipper. It's a short kick, going to be caught at the 35-yard line. And it looks like that is going to be Scott Taylor who makes the catch. They'll spot the ball with VA at the 30, I think officially that's going to be the 35-yard line. So there's exactly 12 on the clock. We are underway. Shotgun formation. Proctor, the sophomore quarterback, moving right to left, now looks over to the sideline. At the 35-yard line. Proctor wants to hand off Jones, and now he fakes the hand, throws it out near side. Wilson makes the catch at the 40. Look out. Up to the 50 and knocked out of bounds. Right at the 50-yard line. That'll move the sticks. A nice play on first down as they faked the hand to Jones and threw it out to Leinert on the near side. And that's good for right about 15 yards as the ball's at the 50. And quickly, this is Jones around the right side. He's got a few yards, escapes a couple of tackles, has 7 yards up to the 43-yard line.
Tanner Hartsfield made the stop for the Bulldogs.
So now already the Panthers are in Howe territory at the 43-yard line. 11:43 on the clock as it stops as Jones was knocked out of bounds. Proctor, handoff Jones near side. And he's got the 40 and slung down there inside the 40 to the 37-yard line by Hartsfield again.
Hartsfield and looked like J.P. Queen may have come in there at the end and finished him off.
So quickly now the Panthers are moving the football. 2 receivers up top. Jones gets the hand right side, runs right down the line, escapes 1 tackle, cuts through the seam, just past the hash, and is going to gain 6 yards up to the 31-yard line.
Seth Seabolt and Tanner Hartsfield in on the stop.
Gain of 7 brings up second down and 3.
So second down and a long 3. 2 receivers near side, 1 up top. And Alexander is not in the game right now at wide receiver. But look out for Jones. Levi Jones has been the story so far on this first drive. 10:54 and rolling. Proctor in the gun. Jones stands to his right. He gets the hand coming near side. And he's going to be brought down after maybe about a yard lost. Tanner Hartsfield right there again to make the stop on the near hash. Ball spotted right at the 30-yard line. So 3rd and 2 coming up for Van Alstyne, moving right to left.
Looks like Grayson Lane checked out of the game.
Proctor in the gun. Stands 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. Levi Jones taking deep breaths, stands right next to him. Just to the left, 2 receivers near side. 3rd and 2. This is going to be a handoff. Jones right up the middle has the first down at the 25. It's tied the 20 to the 18-yard line. Another first down for Van Alstyne. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line.
J.P. Queen and Andrew Griffin in on the stop for the Bulldogs. Looks like Leinert is checked back into the game.
Jones stands to the left of Proctor. Now they all look to the side as a familiar face is the Van Alstyne offensive coordinator, Garrett Patterson. Former Howe coach now runs the offense for Van Alstyne. 2 receivers near side, 1 up top, handoff Levi Jones. Right side, caught behind the line of scrimmage, escapes 1 tackle of Hartsfield and moves up but is brought down after about a yard gain up to about the 17-yard line.
Seth Seabolt and Andrew Griffin in on the stop.
So 2nd down and 8. They'll give him a yard and a half. 2nd down and 9. Now they change the scoreboard. 9:18 on the clock. Van Alstyne with the early possession are moving straight down the field. Started at their own 35, have marched all the way down to the 17-yard line. Jones to the right side of Proctor. He gets the hand left side, moves up the middle a little bit. Finally going to be brought down by Andrew Griffin and Tanner Hartsfield as the clock goes to 8:53 and rolling here. 3rd down and about 8 coming up. And this is a big, big play right here, Michael.
Yeah, it is.
2nd down, 3rd down rather, and 2 receivers up top, 2 to either side. As now we do see D'Angelo Alexander split out wide right on 3rd and 8. Look out for him. He's their leading receiver. And this is going to be a pass across the middle to Leinert. He makes the catch, pushes his way across into the end zone, and the Silver Spike is underway with a 17-yard touchdown pass from Proctor to Grayson Leinert.
Bonnie, I believe that was Chase Wilson who made that touchdown.
That was Wilson. My apologies. So this will be Scott Taylor on for the PAT. It's on the tee. The kick is up. It's long. And it is no good. No good. missed it wide, apparently, because it was long and high, but apparently pushed it or pulled it. 8:19 on the clock. 6-0. VA in the lead here in Van Alstyne at the Silver Spike. Back in a moment.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
In this very football season, we will experience extreme heat followed by the changing of the leaves and finally feel the cold chill of the November. Life changes, and sometimes it changes too fast. When you lose a loved one, you need a place of comfort and trust. Scoggins Funeral Home of Van Alstyne will provide you with that care. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins invite you to talk to their caring staff. They take pride in their responsibility to lighten your burden as you take the first steps towards healing.
Van Alstyne fakes the Quail onside as they'll kick it off now, leading 6-0 in the 54th Battle of the Silver Spike. Scott Taylor runs up to kick this one away, and he does. It's a high kick. It's going to be taken at the 10-yard line by Mason Riggs, rather at the 8-yard line. Coming up the middle and brought down immediately. A nice hit and brought him down at the 21-yard line. And that's where Riggs and company will start from their own 29. 8:12 on the clock.
Chase Colburn made the stop for the Panthers.
Moving left to right, the Bulldogs come out in all white tonight. White pants, white jerseys, black helmets, black numbers, black sleeves, but all white look. Matthews and Grisham in the backfield with Brandon Wall, the quarterback, to start this 1st and 10. Moving left to right. Mason Riggs is your slot back. We're waiting on the whistle from the umpire. And now we got it. Kenneth Balkus, the umpire tonight. Wall goes under center. Van Alstyne jumps across the line, and that's going to be a free 5 yards for Howe.
It looked like they may have been coming on a blitz.
There had to be contact, or they wouldn't have blown the play dead. Apparently there was contact, and so it'll be 1st and 5 now for the Howe Bulldogs.
Looked like Michael Paradis and Justin Barnes were coming on a blitz.
So 1st down and 5. Chase Harvey comes to the line of scrimmage. Here comes everybody else. Handoff. Tyler Grisham up the middle. He's got some room up to the 40 and brought down at the 43-yard line. A nice play immediately right out of the gate, and they'll spot it at the 43-yard line.
Grayson Leinert made the stop for the Panthers.
So call it a 14-yard run there on the first play of the game for Howe. Wall sends a man in motion. This will be a handoff right side. Matthews met at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard, maybe 2, and maybe 3 as they'll spot him at the 46-yard line.
Carter Morgan and Tyler Neshbaugh made the stop for the Panthers.
2nd down and 7 coming up for the Bulldogs as Ty Harvey will bring the play in here. Again, Van Alstyne leading 6-0. Michael, I've got to change that.
Monty, change the.
2nd down and 7. Wall under center, handoff. Riggs going from one side to the other. Escapes a few defenders and crosses for a 1st down. A nice run by Riggs.
Mason Adams and Justin Barnes in on the stop for the Panthers.
So let me change this.
We need to welcome Jonathan Coleman in here with us tonight.
Absolutely.
Thank goodness Stephen's not here, unfortunately, but thank goodness Jonathan's here to help us out because we are way high.
Yes, we are. And this is going to be a handoff right side. That looks like Riggs trying to escape one defender and does. 35. He's got the 30, 25, 20 at the 15, down at the 11-yard line.
Chase Wilson and Scott Taylor made the stop for the Panthers. Great run by Mason Riggs.
So a nice run there, just bumping out and escaping defenders.
Good block by Tyler Grisham, got him outside. Mason did the rest.
And this will be a handoff. Grisham, left side, barrels over one defender, inside to about the 6-yard line. So a pickup of probably 4 on the first down carry will bring up second down and 6. Right at the, well, they'll mark it right now at the 7-yard line. So here comes Howe on second down. They'll call it 5. Second down and 5. Wall, handoff. Grisham, same play. Left side. And he runs hard, but runs right into the teeth of the front defensive right side of Van Alstyne.
D'Angelo Alexander.
Maybe a yard. And that'll bring up a third down and 4 from the 6-yard line. So look out here. What do you got up your trick sleeve? Dale West, the offensive coordinator for the Howe Bulldogs. They'll send Mason Riggs to the slot to the right. Howe trying to punch it in that end zone on the south side. Wall, handoff. Grisham, left side, same play. Trying to fight through to the 2. He may have the first down. Second and third effort may take him to the 1. It looks like the 1. So that could be a first down. It's going to be very close. Right now, it looks like 4th and an inch. 4th and an inch. Oh. And now it's first down. Now they signal first down. So it's first and goal, which is huge for the Bulldogs here. So they'll mark this at the 1-yard line. And everybody tight here. Wall, handoff. Grisham, same play, left side. Turns his back, and does he get in? And he does. It is touchdown time in Texas. The game is tied in the 54th Battle of the Silver Spike. Tyler Grisham takes it over from 1 yard out, and that caps off a 71-yard drive. 6 plays, 71 yards. So Grisham puts it in, and now Honecker is going to try to capture the lead here, the first lead of the night, as Ross, the holder, has it on the tee. He swings the slipper, and it's good. 5:03 on the clock. Howe takes the lead for the first time tonight here in the first quarter with 5:03 left to go. 7-6. The Bulldogs back in a moment on HoweEnterprise.com.
Do you love coffee? Wish there was a local coffee shop to study, work, and get the best coffee drinks and baked goods in Texas? Carrie's Coffee Company in downtown Van Alstyne is your dream come true. Carrie's Coffee Company serves the highest quality organic coffee and espresso drinks like cafe mocha, caramel macchiato, and cappuccino, plus iced coffee frappes with your favorite flavor. Visit Carrie's Coffee Company in downtown Van Alstyne next to the post office, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to noon, and Saturday, 7 a.m. to noon.
Abby's Restaurant is family owned and run. They have the cure for all your home cooking cravings. Chicken fried steak, loaded baked potato, bacon patty melt, grilled chicken salad, cheese fries, jalapeno stuffed peppers, and more. Don't forget to save room for that cheesecake and cobbler with ice cream. We know you're going to love the food and the service. Abby's Restaurant in downtown Howe. Give them a call, 903-487-8860. Abby's Restaurant.
And here's the kick by Honecker. It's a pooch kick to the left side. Fair catch called for, and taken at the 33-yard line. And it appears that was Chase Coburn who made the signal for the fair catch and caught it. So Van Alstyne will take it at their own 33-yard line. Well, they'll say the 32, so he'll start at the 32.
I think they're copying us over there.
So first down and 10, moving right to left are the Van Alstyne Panthers. Proctor is in the gun. Levi Jones will stand to his right. In the slot on the right side is Mason Adams. And split out wide right. That's what you got to look out for. D'Angelo. And this will be a handoff. Right side, Jones escapes a couple of defenders up the middle along that right hash.
Tanner Hartsfield and Ty Harvey in on the stop.
That'll be a 5-yard gain to bring the ball up to the, well, they'll spot it at the 42-yard line. Well, no, I take that back. That's at the 37-yard line. And it's D'Angelo Alexander. I didn't finish a moment ago. This is a handoff to Jones up the middle along the right side behind the right guard. He'll gain a couple.
Andrew Griffin and Tyler Grisham in on the stop.
So this will bring up a 3rd and 3, and this is a very key play early on in the ball game. The ball's at the 39-yard line. If Howe's going to really win this game, they've got to win the field position battle. So stopping them here on 3rd and 3 is going to be very key. This would go a very long way in accomplishing what they want to do overall tonight if they can make this stop here. 3rd and 3, 3:55 on the first quarter clock. This is going to be a handoff. Proctor's going to keep it, actually, and he's got the first down and more up to the 50-yard line, and that'll be a gain of about 12 yards.
Ty Harvey and J.P. Queen in on the stop.
So let me update the scoreboard as Howe has taken the lead here.
Ball spotted at the 50-yard line.
So a 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the 50-yard line. Ball straddles the stripe. 3:34 on the first quarter clock. 7-6, Howe in the lead on a full moon and a brisk south wind coming in. Just a beautiful night for football. Jones stands to the left of Proctor. He'll get the toss coming near side. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage and is brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Andrew Griffin.
Loss of 4 on the play. Back to the 44-yard line.
Great job.
46-yard line.
2nd down, 14.
Stephen Braswell said, sounding great from Austin. Monty changed the score.
2nd down and 14. He knows my weakness.
He does.
One of many. 2nd down and 14. 2:54 and rolling here in the first quarter. Right to left, Van Alstyne. Looks like it could be a score fest. And this is going to be Proctor rolling out near side, throwing it down the field, and it's going to be caught. And now escaping is Leinert at the 30. And I thought for a moment he was brought down to the 25, and he escapes another tackle and down at the 13-yard line as Harvey finally brought him down. He was knocked down pretty hard, but somehow kept his balance at about the 25-yard line.
Wow.
And a huge play puts Van Alstyne all the way down to the 13-yard line.
Ball spotted at the Bulldogs 13-yard line.
That was a great stop by Ty Harvey.
I formation from the gun, handoff Jones near side. He is in. It is touchdown. It is a touchdown for Van Alstyne. So a quick 13-yard touchdown by Levi Jones answers Howe right back. And I would imagine they'd go for 2 here. We'll find out.
Yeah, it looks like they're going for 2 here.
So right now it's 12-7. There's 2:21 on the clock. And this will be near side, and that is Jones again coming into the end zone for the 2-point conversion on the sweep to the near side. So now Van Alstyne all of a sudden is up by a full touchdown with even points, 14-7. And we will be right back with more Silver Spike action here in Van Alstyne, Texas.
Bulldog fans to come down to the Sonic in Howe for half-price shakes after 8 and open until midnight. Home games only.
Where you get great food and big smiles. And a little message for our Howe Bulldog football players. Go Bulldogs, fight Bulldogs, win, win, win. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
If you haven't been to downtown Howe lately, you might be surprised. All the buildings are full, including the unique retail experiences of Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium. Located at 107 and 109 East Haining Street, the 2 antique and gift shops offer unique items that are rarely available in the Howe area. but with Howe area prices. Come and enjoy this trip back in time to the Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium, open noon to 8, Thursdays through Saturday. Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium.
Van Alstyne again fakes the quail onside. Scott Taylor will drop back now. He wants to kick this one away. Standing at his own 30. Again, Van Alstyne moving right to left here in the first quarter. Taylor's kick is going to be a short one. It's going to be taken by Matthews, almost out of bounds, and it does go out of bounds. He caught the ball going towards the sideline and actually caught it and put his left foot out of bounds. A perfect kick. And now Howe's trapped back deep in their own territory, starting at the 13-yard line.
Howe will scrimmage from their own 13.
Yeah, that kick was well placed. Just one of them things, just got close enough to the sideline, he just stepped out.
So Howe's got to go 87 to answer right back, starting with 2:21 on the first quarter clock. Chase Harvey breaks the huddle, and here comes the Dogs. Wall under center, handoff, first man through, and that's going to be Grisham straight ahead for, up to about the 20-yard line. A gain of about 7 on first down.
Justin Barnes made the stop for the Panthers.
Ball spotted right in the middle of the field. And it'll bring up second down and 3 as Peyton Reagan will bring in the play. Harvey breaks the huddle, goes to the line of scrimmage. Everybody else follows. 2 men in the backfield. And this is going to be Matthews on the carry. And he'll get maybe 1 as they'll push it out to the 21-yard line.
Carter Morgan and Sam Ripple made the stop.
So all of a sudden now, let's see, where do they spot that? 21?
21.
All of a sudden now you got a 3rd and 2. Very, very important play right here. You got to stay in this football game and answer right back. Wall under center. He's going to hand off. First man through, Grisham. He's got the first down, and he falls forward for about 3 more up to the 28-yard line. 1:12 on the clock. As soon as they move the sticks, the clock will start again as it's 1st and 10, moving left to right. Howe trailing in the 54th Silver Spike, 14-7 here in the first quarter. But on the move again. Elvington will be the slot to the near side. And this is a man in motion. He'll get the carry. That's Brent Masters for the first time in a long time. And he's brought down after about a 4, maybe 5-yard gain at the 33-yard line.
D'Angelo Alexander made the stop for the Panthers.
Call it a 5-yard gain. Good to see Brent Masters back in the game. First time in a while. He had a separated shoulder there. He seems to be okay now. Clock is under 30 seconds now. Stapleton will bring the play in. This will be the last play of the first quarter, should they even get it off. And I think they're going to have to because the play clock's at 10. Wall under center, I formation, handoff. Left side, Matthews didn't get the first down. Matter of fact, he's met at the line of scrimmage for no gain. A 3rd down and 5 is going to be coming up here in just a moment.
Carter Morgan and Zane Madison made the stop for the Panthers.
They've got the ball spotted at the 34. They'll switch sides, and that's where we'll be here in just a moment. That's the end of the first quarter for the 54th Battle of the Silver Spike. Back in a moment with more Howe Bulldog action.
Tired of paying for channels you don't watch? Cavener Home Theater and Dish got you covered. The new Flex Pack lets you customize your own package. For $39.99 per month, the Flex Pack includes 50 popular channels plus an additional channel pack of your choice. You can choose from locals, news, kids, and sports. Give us a call, 903-892-3499, or go to CavenerTV.com. You can get the Hopper 3 DVR for only $10 a month more. Give us a call.
Think back to the best fried pies you've ever had. It won't compare to Sweetie Pies in Van Alstyne. Sweetie Pies has handmade apricot, apple, peach, buttermilk, chocolate, coconut, and lemon fried pies that melt in your mouth. Located at 120 South Main Street in Van Alstyne on the east side of downtown. Give them a call at 972-821-1508. You must try Sweetie Pie's signature fried pie, Sawdust. I'm not even kidding.
Well, we're in the second quarter here at Van Alstyne's Panther Stadium. 14-7, Van Alstyne in the lead. Howe facing a 3rd and 4 from their own 34 to start the second quarter. And the offense is coming back out on the field. It's kind of a game like we thought it would be. It's going to be tight within a touchdown. Wall goes under center, and he'll hand off to Grisham going right side. He's fighting forward close to the first down. Just going to be, maybe just a little bit short, Jonathan. I can't tell.
Looks like D'Angelo Alexander made the stop.
It's going to be short. So it's 4th and 1, and on your own side of the field, the ball spotted at the 37-yard line.
Riverboat Gamblers.
Riverboat Gamblers going for it right here. 4th and 1, handoff, first man through, first down. Grisham taking people with him near the 50-yard line. About a 12-yard gain for Grisham on 4th and 1 at their own 39-yard line. Put an asterisk by that play.
And he drug D'Angelo Alexander down the field about 10 yards.
So the ball now spotted at the 47. Or 48, rather. And this will be the reverse to Masters coming near side. They sniffed that one out. That's going to be a loss of about 5.
Yeah, he was met in the backfield as soon as he took the handoff by Justin Barnes. And then Zane Madison came in and assisted on that tackle.
Number 58, Zane Madison, in there for the Panthers.
Well, 2nd down and 14 coming up.
Looks like they got him on a middle linebacker blitz.
Well, Elvington will bring the play in now. 10:42 on the clock and rolling here in the second quarter. Howe needing to drive and punch this thing in. Wall under center. Masters goes in motion. He wants to throw the football. Now he wants to run the football. Goes up the middle, and he'll gain maybe 1 yard as he gets back to the line of scrimmage and gains 1. Looked downfield, but downfield was covered up. So Wall gains 1, and they'll spot it at the 41-yard line.
Brings up 3rd down, 13.
Looks like big Zane Madison checked out for the Panthers from his nose guard position.
So 3rd down and 13. Under 10 minutes. Wall rolling out near side. Wants to throw down the field. It's going to be caught by Harvey for a first down at the 42-yard line. What a great job of rolling out near side. And Harvey, 6'5", goes up for it, brings it right down. What a weapon Harvey is. A great basketball player, and you needed that jump right there as the ball now spotted in Van Alstyne territory at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, that is a good tackle by Chase Wilson. But you just can't cover up a 6'5".
Matthews alone in the backfield. Now Masters goes in motion. Handoff right side, Matthews. Big hole to the right side, escapes. He's at the 25, 20, 15, dragging 2 men down to the 9-yard line. He took Wilson with him.
Finally brought down by Coy Beck.
Number 7, Chase Wilson.
Wilson and Beck rode him like a horse all the way down to the 9-yard line.
Ball spotted at
1st and 10 at the 9.
You know, this is exactly what we thought it was going to be.
So Matthews, same play right side, and this time it's bunched up. Now he spins out, and he might have a yard. They'll spot it at the 7, so give him 2.
Tyler Neshbaugh made the stop. And I know I'm not saying that right, but that's close.
13th play of the drive for the Bulldogs. 8:50 on the clock. The drive, as you remember, started at their own 13-yard line when Matthews stepped out of bounds on the kickoff. Handoff, left side, Grisham. And he churns his way inside the 5 to the 2-yard line.
Chase Wilson in on the stop.
You know, that's just a bull over the left side is Grisham. And now it's 3rd and goal from the 2. 2 men in the backfield. Matthews, handoff, right side. He is in. It is touchdown time in Texas. 14-13 with 8:06 left to go in the second quarter. And the PAT would tie the game in the 54th Battle of the Silver Spike.
Hey, where's that train coming from? Boy, I like that new horn.
That was, let's see, here is Honecker. He is on for the PAT to tie the game with 8:06 on the clock. It's high, it is long, and it is good. Immediately, the referees put their hands up as he put it right down Main Street. Tie ball game here in the 54th Battle of the Silver Spike. 8:06 left to go in the second. Back in a moment.
The Howe Athletic Booster Club invites you to become a supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
And the type of kids we have, they're just hard workers and do anything you ask.
Memberships are $25 and will be available at all home games. All proceeds benefit high school and middle school athletic programs. Please join the Howe Athletic Booster Club in our efforts to support our hometown kids.
When people come here, you know, it's something they can be proud of.
A word from Douglas Propane.
We had received a call from Cable One back when Howe had the tornado come through. Their tower site back on the hill runs a propane backup generator. You know, my service staff got the call late in the afternoon. We tried to get up there and get the gas to it. The ground was too soft for our bobtail to get back there, so we put it in four-wheel drive, and we actually took 100-pound cylinders and transferred them into the larger tank to get them through until we could get the larger truck back there.
And here's Honecker, and he's going to pooch this one near side. It's going to be fair catch called for again. And caught by Coburn again. This time a little bit deeper as the Van Alstyne Panthers looks like they're going to set up shop at their own 31-yard line. 8:06 on the clock. Van Alstyne now moving left to right. And they are coming out already with Alexander split out wide right, two receivers to the left up top. Proctor, the sophomore quarterback, came into tonight's game 55 out of 102, which is a 54% completion percentage, has 730 yards, which is about a little over 100 a game. Here's a handoff to Levi Jones. Fumble on the play at the 42, the Bulldogs have it!
Ballers are covered by Tanner Hartsfield.
Hartsfield comes up with it, and those plays are huge in rivalry games, or any game for that matter, especially when it's tied with exactly 8 minutes on the game. Jones coughs it up. Hartsfield picked it up.
Yeah, there was a tremendous hit there at the line of scrimmage by Andrew Griffin. Set that ball about 5-6 yards up in the air, and Tanner Hartsfield come up with the fumble.
So here's Howe at the 36-yard line, and this is going to be a handoff up the middle to Matthews.
Tripped up by his own player, it looked like.
So they'll say the ball, let's see, yeah, gain of 2. They'll put it at the 29. Is that right? No, 34.
34.
I need those binoculars, Jonathan. 34, 7:35 on the clock. Howe with a huge chance right here to capitalize. Everybody tight. Wall under center. This is the reverse. Mason Riggs going outside, and he is going to be down after they may mark him down at the line of scrimmage. He just couldn't get outside. He tried to bump it out, but the Panthers were right there. And now it's going to bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 8 situation.
Scott Taylor and Kason Miller made the stop.
So ball still at the 34-yard line. Need a big play here. Really need to capitalize on this great field position and the fumble. Elvington brings the play in. And Harvey goes under center. 2 men in the backfield. Wall, handoff. Grisham, left side, over left tackle. He's going to get maybe 6 to the 29-yard line. I'll give him 5. So 4th down coming up. It's going to be 4th and less than 5. And if you're going to go for it, 4th and 1 at your own 30-something.
Yeah, you got it.
You got to go for it when you're at their 30-something.
That's right.
Or actually 29. 4th and 3 coming up for the Dogs. Handoff, left side, Grisham again. And he turns his way for a 1st down and more to the 15-yard line. Grisham unstoppable to the 15.
Landon Pardee made the stop. For
They'll actually say that he was down at the 16. So give him a 13-yard run there on 4th. And it appears that when it's 4th down, Grisham is at his best. Harvey goes under center, 6:12 on the clock. It has not started yet. And here's a play up the middle. That's going to be Wall on the quarterback keeper. He is in. It is touchdown time in Texas.
Good block by Landry Elvington and Connor Jackson.
16-yard touchdown scamper by Brandon Wall, the quarterback. With 6:05 left to go in the second, Howe takes the advantage 20-14, awaiting this PAT. So Howe will send Honaker out there.
Bryce Honaker on to attempt the extra point.
It was a 5-play, 36-yard drive. Honaker, the kick is up, and it is good. 21-14, Howe takes the lead. Back in a moment with more Silver Spike action here in Van Alstyne, Texas.
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete store information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
Welcome back, as here is another high kick going to be taken again by Coburn, this time at the 35-yard line. So it'll be Van Alstyne starting at their own 35 this time instead of their own 31. And Howe leads 21-14 in this 54th Battle of the Silver Spike. 6:05 left to go in the second quarter. And Van Alstyne will start here. Sends two receivers up top, one to the bottom is Alexander. It's going to be shotgun, handoff, Jones, right near side, and he's going to be, I thought, tackled for a loss, but he breaks out of it, goes down the sideline for 5 yards, and he'll be brought down by J.P. Queen, pushed out of bounds by Queen with 5:58 on the clock. Ball now at the 40-yard line after a 5-yard gain. Second down and 5 coming up. 5:58 on the clock. Proctor wants it. The sophomore quarterback gets it. He's going to keep it. Now throws it out left side, and that's going to be Wilson on the catch. Very first play of the game. Same play, 5 yards, and that's going to be close to a first down. He did not get out of bounds, so the clock will roll.
They stopped the clock.
But they will move the sticks and then start the clock because it is a first down. Ball spotted, and the nose of the football touches the 45-yard line, still on the Van Alstyne side of the field. 5 yards shy of midfield. Jones stands on the left side of Proctor, and he's going to get it coming near side. Got a lane, and a big lane. Crosses midfield and brought down at the 46-yard line. And that's going to be Andrew Griffin. But a 9-yard gain by Jones will take it inside Howe territory to the 46.
You know, I know it was a Panther thing, but that's the kind of lane you want.
And here is a second down and 1 coming up. Look out for Alexander on the near side. Second down and 1. Sometimes you want to dial it up for a big play right here. This would be a good opportunity for Garrett Patterson, the offensive coordinator, to call Alexander's number and dump it deep. And this is going to be a handoff right side. Jones trapped in the backfield and brought down by Blessai for a loss on the play. They'll actually say that his forward progress was stopped at the 47-yard line. So in all, it will only be a loss of 1.
Yeah, that was a good tackle by Blesseye.
Blesseye actually drug him down and took him back another 5 yards. So third down and 2.
Zach Daniels in on that stop as well.
And a flag. It's the first flag of the night that we've seen. Or other than the first play of the game, it's going to be a false start against Van Alstyne. And instead of 3rd and 2, it's going to be 3rd and 7 coming up. So penalty will take that back on their own side of the field to the 48-yard line. Jonathan, you may have to turn that air back on. My window's fogging up. So 3rd and 7 coming up. 4:12 and rolling here in the second quarter. Howe leading 21-14. Shotgun, handoff, nope. Proctor kept it, throws it out left side. First down, caught at the 41-yard line, and he escapes the defender. He could be gone. Makes the move to the 20, inside to the 15, and brought down right there.
Good tackle by J.P. Queen.
On the catch was Rhett. Actually, that was Leinert, I believe, on the catch. So Leinert moves the sticks all the way down to the 15-yard line. 1st and 10. Proctor hands off. Jones met at the line of scrimmage, and J.P. Queen levels him right there after maybe a 1-yard gain inside to the 14-yard line. So now Jones will check out of the game for the first time tonight. Leinert will go to the near side. There's 3 receivers on the near side now. Wilson, Leinert, and Alexander. And it appears that Scott Taylor is in the backfield.
Yes.
So Taylor will stand right next to Proctor. And they're going to fake the hand to him, throw it out near side. Wilson, he's got a lane to the 10, to the 5. He's in the end zone. Touchdown Van Alstyne. A 14-yard pass and catch screenplay. But there's a flag on the play, but I think it's going to be after the touchdown.
I think it was Harvey on a face mask, unfortunately.
So they'll decline that. And Van Alstyne's on the board again. So a 14-yard touchdown from Proctor to Wilson. And that'll be assessed on the kickoff, the penalty, the face mask penalty. So here's Taylor on to kick the extra point. Right now it's 21-20 Howe. And the extra point, we're waiting on the snap. It's on the tee. Taylor's kick is left and no good again. 21-20, Howe retains the lead after the second missed extra point by Scott Taylor. Back in a moment with more Howe Bulldog action.
In this very football season, we will experience extreme heat followed by the changing of the leaves and finally feel the cold chill of the November rain. Life changes, and sometimes it changes too fast. When you lose a loved one, you need a place of comfort and trust. Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory of Van Alstyne will provide you with that care. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins invite you to talk to their caring staff. They take pride in their responsibility to lighten your burden as you take the first steps towards healing.
Do you love coffee? Wish there was a local coffee shop to study, work, and get the best coffee drinks and baked goods in Texas? Carrie's Coffee Company in downtown Van Alstyne is your dream come true. Carrie's Coffee Company serves the highest quality organic coffee and espresso drinks like cafe mocha, caramel macchiato, and cappuccino, plus iced coffee frappes with your favorite flavor. Visit Carrie's Coffee Company in downtown Van Alstyne next to the post office, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to noon, and Saturday, 7 a.m. to noon.
Welcome back as Howe retains the lead, 21-20 here in the second quarter, 3:03 on the clock before the half. The kick will be short now. I mean, the tee is set up at the Howe 45-yard line. So this may be an onside, and they fake it. And they're very dangerously close to being offsides there, but they do not throw a flag. As Taylor now will boot this one away, it's going to be a pooch kick called for by Seabolt, taken right there at the 20-yard line. So Howe will start at their own 20 with 3:03 on the clock. And I guess the object of this drive has to be take 3 minutes and 2 seconds off the clock, score a touchdown, and get the ball back to start the half.
Right.
That's the goal for the Howe Bulldogs right here. 80 yards away, have 3:03 to score. Two receivers split out wide. Twins to the right. A different look for Howe. Wall goes under center, comes near side to Mason Riggs, who actually hands off to the far side. He'll be brought down for no gain. And Riggs just can't turn the corner tonight as we're under 3 minutes now.
Sam Rimpel made the stop for the Panthers.
Second down and 10 coming up after no gain. 2:44 on the clock. Howe leading 21-20 here in the second quarter. Moving right to left towards that north end zone that they'd like to punch it in. Wall under center. Handoff near side. And that's Tyler Grisham, and he's not going on anywhere for one of the first times tonight. He gains a yard, which will bring up 3rd and 9.
Sam Rimpel and Chase Wilson in on the stop.
A timeout has been called by Van Alstyne. We will take one, too. Back in a moment with more Howe Bulldog football.
Abby's Restaurant is family owned and run. They have the cure for all your home cooking cravings. Chicken fried steak, loaded baked potato, bacon patty melt, grilled chicken salad, cheese fries, jalapeno stuffed peppers, and more. Don't forget to save room for that cheesecake and cobbler with ice cream. We know you're going to love the food and the service. Abby's Restaurant in downtown Howe. Give them a call, 903-487-8860. Abby's Restaurant.
Calling all Bulldog fans to come down to the Sonic in Howe for half-price shakes after 8 and open until midnight. Home games only.
Where you get great food and big smiles, and a little message for our Howe Bulldog football players. Go Bulldogs, fight Bulldogs, win, win, win. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Right here, we are back 21-20 with the Bulldogs in the lead by the narrowest of margins. 2:17 left to go before the half. Howe facing a 3rd and 9 at their own 21-yard line. A big play coming up here, because you would think you need 9 yards right here, because I don't think this is Riverboat Gambler time any way you slice it with this much amount of time right before the half.
No,
just not going to happen.
I wouldn't think so either.
So here come the Bulldogs, and they'll have 2 men in the backfield and a slot. Wall wants to roll out right. He wants to keep it around the edge, gets a good block. He's got the 25, cuts it up inside, makes a man miss, has a first down, and is thrown out of bounds to stop the clock with 2:08.
Chase Wilson run him out of bounds.
Wilson threw him out of bounds, and they actually roll one more second off the clock at 2:07. And the ball now spotted at the 32-yard line. 11-yard run for Brandon Wall there on a huge play. Needed 9, got 11. 1st and 10, right to left. 2:07 on the clock. 2 men in the backfield. Wall is going to hand it to the first man through, and that's Jaden Matthews, who spins out of a tackle, makes a couple of others miss on his way to an 8-yard gain, maybe 7 at the 39-yard line. A 7-yard gain for Matthews, who just never quits. He reminds me a lot of a young man named Michael Bailey who used to play for Howe. And here's a handoff on the reverse to the far side. And again, not much doing there by Riggs, but he does pick up the first down, I believe. Clock will stop momentarily at the 1:39 mark for them to move the sticks.
Carter Morgan and Sam Rimpel made the stop for the Panthers.
Ball spotted at the 42-yard line. Van Alstyne takes a timeout. We will take 1-2 quickly. Back in a moment with more Howe Bulldog football.
If you haven't been to downtown Howe lately, you might be surprised. All the buildings are full, including the unique retail experiences of Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium. Located at 107 and 109 East Haining Street, the two antique and gift shops offer unique items that are rarely available in the Howe area, but with Howe area prices. Come and enjoy this trip back in time to the Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium, open noon to 8, Thursdays through Saturday. Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium.
Wall rolls out right side, throws it down the field, and it's going to be caught at the 17-yard line.
Ty Harvey.
Harvey goes up and comes down with it. Huge play with 1:28 left to go before the half. The ball now spotted at the 17-yard line, but a flag is down.
Back is it up. It's against the Bulldogs.
Ineligible receiver called.
Well, they will call an ineligible receiver on Howe, which will negate the huge catch by Harvey on the rollout and actually push Howe back a little bit. All the way back to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, that was a great catch and pass from Monroe to Harvey.
After the penalty, 1st and 15 for the Bulldogs.
So here is Wall, and they want to run the rollout again, this time near side. Wide open is Tyler Grisham, catches it at the 50, rolls down to the 40, to the 30, and steps out of bounds at the 29-yard line. A great job of Grisham to get out of bounds and stop the clock with 1:13. A rollout play by Wall and Grisham, I'm telling you, all alone. And that's what the slot T does. It lulls you to sleep.
Yeah, he was wide. That wasn't a man within 5 yards.
Ball at the 29-yard line in Van Alstyne territory, 1:13 on the clock. Harvey brings the play in. What is this? The Bulldogs throwing the football.
They are. That's 2 in a row.
What's going on? Harvey split out wide right. Grisham goes with him. Twins to the right. Wall under center. He'll roll out, looking right side. Under pressure, and now is going to be brought down for a big sack back at the 41-yard line. Could not get rid of the football. At that point, when you're under that much pressure, you just got to throw it out of bounds. He takes the big loss back to the 40.
Carter Morgan made a stop for the Panthers.
11-yard loss, and we're under a minute. Clock is still rolling. Howe is not calling any timeouts here. Under a minute. It's second down and very, very long. And Wall's going to hand off Grisham left side, and he goes down at the 35-yard line. And this time they might call a timeout. You would think a timeout's coming. At the 35-yard line. They'll actually mark it at the 34.
Landon Pardee and Justin Barnes in on the stop.
28 seconds. Wall under center. Handoff, first man through. Matthews dives forward to the 31-yard line. Just trying to, I think what they're trying to do is set up a field goal by Honaker, a deep, long field goal. There's 15 seconds on the clock, and I believe they're going to take a timeout with 1 second. They're going to spot the ball at the 31, and they're setting up a Honaker field goal. Now, the interesting thing about this is the field goal attempt will be somewhere around a 40, let's see, about a 48-yarder. A 40, and that would be a school record.
Right.
It appears Honaker is going to attempt a 48-yard field goal for a school record. The record sits at 42 by some old broadcaster.
They wore 42, by the way.
So we'll see what happens here, as Honaker will get a chance to swing that slipper through with 1.3 seconds remaining. And I'm just saying that because I feel like that may be, surely that's what they would come out with, but maybe not, because it doesn't appear that's going to happen, as here comes Wall and Matthews. They're going to run a play here. 4th and 12. And the Bulldogs are going to try to punch it in. And now a timeout's been called by Van Alstyne. We're going to keep it right here as it's 4th and 12. And, whew, this is a little testy up here. So, just when you thought the half was already a little bit fun, then you get something like this. Who knows what's going to happen here?
I don't know.
I mean, Van Alstyne lined up on defense, saw what Howe was going to do. You'd think Van Alstyne, knowing that Howe has that kind of kicker, they would also be thinking, "Hey, they're going to kick it." So they line up possibly their kick block team. And when Howe comes out on offense, they call a timeout. So here comes the regular defense for Van Alstyne on the field. And the offense will be coming out for Howe. No kick team here. Howe will get the football back to start the second half. Here we go. 4th down and 12. That doesn't matter. There's 1 second on the clock. Howe's at the 31-yard line of Van Alstyne. Wall back to pass. Throws it deep down the middle, and Grisham goes up for it, and it's going to be intercepted at the 5-yard line. Coming near side to the 20, to the 25. Cuts it up, breaks a tackle, and going to be finally brought down at the 46-yard line. Shy of midfield, and the half is over, and a late flag comes up. There's a kind of a tussle on the Van Alstyne sideline as Clay Marshall gets up a little bit gimpy, and a flag is down.
Number 3, Coy Beck, intercepting.
Tanner Hartsfield slow to get up, but he does. And the half is over. The official is going to be a personal foul against Howe, and that'll be assessed on the kickoff to start the second half. But that's where we are at the second at the halftime, and Howe is retaining a 21-20 lead here at the half. However, hang on, that's a defensive penalty.
Personal foul called on the Bulldogs.
Hold everything, because the half can't end on a defensive penalty, but does that mean an interception? So let's talk about this for a minute, Michael. Now, Howe is walking to the dressing room, and the officials are now talking to Zach Hudson about the personal foul situation and whether it's going to be a half. And now the Bulldogs are headed to the locker room. Coach Hudson not real happy. And now he gets the explanation, and everybody's headed to the locker room. We will take a break. It is 21-20. Howe in the lead here in the 54th Battle of the Silver Spike. Back in a moment with more Howe Bulldog football.
What is Cabinet Home Theater? Do we only do those big fancy media rooms? Heck no. We started in 1978 installing TV antennas. Guess what? We still do and get over 40 Dallas channels that way for our customers. Along the way, we had requests to install speakers, mount TVs, or install dish, so now we do it all. From hooking up a TV with a soundbar to whole house audio with all the bells and whistles. Visit CabineterHT.com to see all we have to offer, or call 903-892-3499.
Think back to the best fried pies you've ever had. It won't compare to Sweetie Pies in Van Alstyne. Sweetie Pies has handmade apricot, apple, peach, buttermilk, chocolate, coconut, and lemon fried pies that melt in your mouth. Located at 120 South Main Street in Van Alstyne on the east side of downtown. Give them a call at 972-821-1508. You must try Sweetie Pie's signature fried pie, Sawdust. I'm not even kidding.
The Howe Athletic Booster Club invites you to become a supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
The type of kids we have, they're just hard workers and do anything you ask.
Memberships are $25 and will be available at all home games. All proceeds benefit high school and middle school athletic programs. Please join the Howe Athletic Booster Club in our efforts to support our hometown kids.
When people come here, you know, it's something they can be proud of.
A word from Douglas Propane.
My tenured drivers are 5 to 7 years, and then our combined experience, you know, the benefit of the era that we live in is the smartphone era. Any of my staff have the ability at a moment's notice to pick up the phone, and my drivers can call my service staff, and my service can call my driver staff, and everyone can get a hold of us. And then we have a staff 24-hour answering service.
Welcome back here to Panther Stadium at Van Alstyne, where we have a barn burner and a dandy of a football game. 21-20, Howe in the lead, as we are just about ready to hear the Howe High School Marching Band, and let's let you do that in its entirety.
Introducing the 2016-2017 Howe High School Varsity Cheerleaders. Our captain, Aaron Ansley. Our co-captain, Allie Morgan. Our lieutenant, Kaylee Dwyer. We also have Gianna Henry, Jory Seabold, Lydia Hagan, Ashley Pelt, Taylor Hartsfield, Natalie Honore, Michaela Doty, Riley Potter, and Madison Kerr. Our mascot is Chris Blazak, our manager is Hannah Brown, and our coach is Pam Kirby.
Okay, ladies, now let's get information. I say, on the way you make me SOS, please, someone help me, for me to feel that's why, oh, you are right.
Panther fans, it is time for your 2016-17 Varsity Cheerleaders. Kirkland Bedwell, Alyssa Crow, Lauren DeLuna, Faith Griffin, Chloe Houston, Sadie Ingram, Libby Kellum, Dakota Kern, Shelby Litzkow, Abigail Martin, Emma Morgan, Maddie Raymer, Mackenzie Reed, and Lauren Smallwood. The mascot is Rick Raymer and the manager is Kristen Duncan. And Alstyne Varsity Cheerleaders. And now, ladies and gentlemen,
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete store information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
In this very football season, we will experience extreme heat followed by the changing of the leaves and finally feel the cold chill of the November rain. Life changes, and sometimes it changes too fast. When you lose a loved one, you need a place of comfort and trust. Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory of Van Alstyne will provide you with that care. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins invite you to talk to their caring staff. They take pride in their responsibility to lighten your burden as you take the first steps towards healing.
Do you love coffee? Wish there was a local coffee shop to study, work, and get the best coffee drinks and baked goods in Texas? Carrie's Coffee Company in downtown Van Alstyne is your dream come true. Carrie's Coffee Company serves the highest quality organic coffee and espresso drinks like cafe mocha, caramel macchiato, and cappuccino, plus iced coffee frappes with your favorite flavor. Visit Carrie's Coffee Company in downtown Van Alstyne next to the post office, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to noon, and Saturday, 7 a.m. to noon.
We are awaiting the Van Alstyne marching band as they are on the field in a circle right at the midfield stripe in a almost perfect circle, but a little oblong. And now, whatever they did, they are coming to the near side. Did they perform, or they just stand there and look at the Howe crowd? Are they just trying to intimidate us, or what?
No, I think they did a little warm-up.
Okay. Well, we are about to give you the Van Alstyne marching band as they get into position here, and we'll let you listen to it in its entirety. 21-20, Howe in the lead. We'll have more football action in about 12 minutes.
There you have them, the pride of Van Alstyne, the Van Alstyne.
Abby's Restaurant is family owned and run. They have the cure for all your home cooking cravings. Chicken fried steak, loaded baked potato, bacon patty melt, grilled chicken salad, cheese fries, jalapeno stuffed peppers, and more. Don't forget to save room for that cheesecake and cobbler with ice cream. We know you're going to love the food and the service. Abby's Restaurant in downtown Howe. Give them a call, 903-487-8860. Abby's Restaurant.
Calling all Bulldog fans to come down to the Sonic in Howe for half-price shakes after 8 and open until midnight. Home games only.
Where you get great food and big smiles, and a little message for our Howe Bulldog football players. Go Bulldogs, fight Bulldogs, win, win, win. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Welcome back to Panther Stadium. Monty Walker along with Michael Mosier and Jonathan Coleman joining us tonight, doing some spotting for us.
Jonathan Coleman.
We want to thank you, Jonathan, for coming up here and spending your Friday night with us for the 54th Battle of the Silver Spike. Let's recap the first half as what turned out to be a huge fumble by Jones is really the difference in this score right now, as Hartsfield was able to pick it up. But let's recap from the beginning. From the beginning, it was Van Alstyne who took the ball first to start this game at their own 35, and 7 plays later they capped off a 65-yard drive, and it was ended with a 17-yard touchdown pass from sophomore quarterback Gage Proctor to wide receiver Chase Wilson. Chase Wilson is a junior. And with the missed extra point, Van Alstyne led 6-0. Gave the ball to Howe for the first time. They took it at their own 29-yard line. And Howe kept it for 6 plays and 71 yards. Tyler Grisham scored from 1 yard out. Honecker kicked the PAT, which was good, and Howe took the lead 7-6, the first lead of the night for the Bulldogs. Back to Van Alstyne, who took the ball at their own 32-yard line with 5:03 left to go in the first. They drove 5 plays and 68 yards before they scored on a 13-yard touchdown by Levi Jones. That gave, after the 2-point conversion by Jones, which I need to write that in my notes, that gave Van Alstyne a 14-7 lead with 2:21 left to go in the first. Howe took it there at their own 13-yard line as the kickoff was at the edge of the sideline. Jaden Matthews caught it and stepped out of bounds all in the same motion. And Howe had to drive what amounted to 87 yards, and they did it on 13 plays. As here come the Van Alstyne Panthers back out for the second half. They run through their helmet tunnel. The Bulldogs about to get ready to run through theirs. There, you can see the Bulldog head moving. So something's about to happen over there. The Bulldogs drove 13 plays. There's the Bulldogs. 13 plays, 87 yards before Jaden Matthews took it over from 2 yards out to tie the game at 14. Van Alstyne, that's when things changed. On the very first play of the drive, Levi Jones fumbled and Hartsfield recovered. That gave Howe the ball with 8 minutes exactly on the clock in the second quarter. Howe drove 5 plays, 36 yards, and scored on a Brandon Wall 16-yard scamper, 21-14. Howe led at that point, gave it back to Van Alstyne with 6:05 left to go before the half. And Van Alstyne drove 14 plays, 65 yards, but took 3:02 off the clock. And another Proctor to Wilson touchdown, this one 14 yards. And with the missed PAT, Howe retained the lead 21-20. Howe took the ball back with 3:03 left before the half, trying to drive 80 yards, stick it in the end zone. Could not do it. Got a great play, throw and catch to Harvey down inside the 20-yard line. But a flag brought it back. Howe did not score. And now Van Alstyne gets to kick off after the personal foul to end the half from the 45-yard line. They fake the quill onside and back up now. It's going to be probably a pooch kick. And Scott Taylor, the right-footed kicker, will kick it deep. And it'll go to Andrew Griffin at the 4-yard line, coming near side, 15 up to the 20, and brought down out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So Howe takes over there. First possession of the second half, 11:54 on the clock.
Tyler Neshabaugh made the stop. The Shabby, I don't know. I give up. Number 48.
There you go. Howe starts at their own 25-yard line. Just underway here in the third quarter. As I need to change that, don't I? It's not halftime anymore.
Well, Landry Elvington brought the play in.
So Howe goes up to the line of scrimmage on the first play of the second half. This is going to be a handoff to Tyler Grisham, who breaks free at the 35-40. 45, past midfield to the 45 in Van Alstyne territory. And there's a great play to start the second half as the Panthers go across the Bulldogs go across midfield to the 44-yard line.
Grayson Linehart run him down behind, made the stop. It looked like
31-yard run there to start.
Good run by Tyler Grisham.
Harvey up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10. Howe with a 1-point lead. Handoff, first man through, Matthews. Not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 43-yard line. Second down and 9 coming up.
Number 5 carries the football for the Bulldogs.
So second down and 9, 11-14. We are just underway here in the second half. Howe leads 21-20.
Coy Beck made the stop for the Panthers.
In a game like this, the Bulldogs must score to start this possession, to start the second half. Must score. Wall under center, handoff, Grisham, left tackle, hit hard and gains a yard in between the 41 and the 42-yard line.
Initial contact made by Coy Beck, and then Rhett Cubby in on the stop as well.
So now a 3rd and 7. 10:33 and rolling here in the third quarter. Ty Harvey will bring the play in. 6'5" junior, and he breaks out of the huddle and falls down. Gets back up, split out wide to the near side. Tyler Grisham with him on the Twins, and this is going to be a rollout. Actually, it's going to be a handoff up the middle to Matthews, and he's going to gain 2 to the 40-yard line. So here's a 4th down play, and Howe desperately needs to score to open this second half, and already facing a 4th and 6 at the Van Alstyne 40.
Yes, they do. And Ben Williams for the Panthers, he held up on his position and was waiting on Matthews when he took that handoff.
Seabolt brings the play in, and, on 4th down so far tonight, it's been Grisham, and he has been monstrous on 4th down carries. Man in motion, and this is going to be Grisham, right side. Tries to find a hole. Has a first down to the 30, down to the 28-yard line. Another Grisham first down on 4th down.
Chase Wilson made the stop for the Panthers.
Ball spotted at the 29. Another huge 4th down conversion, and every time you have one of those situations tonight, Dale West has called Tyler Grisham's number. He's not only got enough for the first, but he's got way more. So 1st and 10, 9:18 left to go in the third quarter. Wall goes under center on 1st and 10. Masters in motion, handoff Matthews. Mid at the line of scrimmage, breaks out of a tackle, but then dogpiled by 3 or 4 Panthers after a gain of about 1 to the 27-yard line. Give him 2.
Coy Beck and look like more often in on the stop.
2nd down and 8 coming up as we're under the 9-minute mark in the third quarter. 54th Battle of the Silver Spike.
This is a Silver Spike game that we thought it was going to be.
Boy, this is an absolute classic in the making right here. 2nd down and 8. One man in the backfield is Matthews. Man in motion is Masters. Wall's going to keep it. Left guard. Breaks free at the 10, at the 5, and he is down right there at about the 4-yard line. They'll call him down at the 6. So it'll be 1st and goal for the Howe Bulldogs at the 6-yard line.
Landon Pardee made the stop for the Panthers.
21-yard run.
Van Alstyne just hadn't been able to stop Wall. When he keeps the ball, he runs for, seems like ever.
1st and goal, 8:14 and rolling here in the third quarter. Howe takes their time. And now Peyton Reagan brings the play in. He just now gets to the huddle. Chase Harvey breaks the huddle. Everybody else follows. 2 men in the backfield. Wall under center. This is going to be Grisham, right tackle, just crushes his way into the end zone. It's touchdown time in Texas. 6-yard touchdown by Tyler Grisham. Extends Howe's lead 27-20, awaiting this PAT.
Yeah, he was met at about the 2-yard line by Landon Pardee, but he just run him right over in the end zone.
7 plays and 75 yards on the drive. And Honecker will try to make it an 8-point lead right here. It's on the tee, and the kick is up very high, very straight, right down Main Street. Back in a moment as Howe has a 28-20 lead.
If you haven't been to downtown Howe lately, you might be surprised. All the buildings are full, including the unique retail experiences of Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium. Located at 107 and 109 East Haining Street, the 2 antique and gift shops offer unique items that are rarely available in the Howe area, but with Howe area prices. Come and enjoy this trip back in time to the Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium, open noon to 8, Thursdays through Saturday. Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium.
In these days of fast-paced lives and fast-talking salespeople, it's nice to know you can still count on your local dish retailer, Cavender Home Theater, with folks right here in your area to tell you the honest truth. Dish simply costs less for the very same channels. For your home or business, Dish and Cavender's has it at a reasonable price with old-fashioned service. Call Cavender Home Theater at 903-892-3499 today and experience an expert who's happy to answer all your questions. Or go to CavenderTV.com. Do it now.
28-20, Howe in the lead, 7:52 left to go in the third quarter here at Panther Stadium in the 54th Battle of the Silver Spike. Honecker, pooch kick, near side, fair catch called for by Coburn again. And Van Alstyne will start from their own 33-yard line with 7:52 on the third quarter clock, trailing Howe 28-20. What a great job that was to start the second half by punching it in the end zone, extending the lead. That's how they drew it up at the half, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's exactly how they drew it. Colbert sure is getting off a lot of touches, but he ain't made very many yards.
Well, he's fair caught it every time. Called for the fair catch all 3 times.
Yeah, he gets what, 1 or 2 yards maybe.
So it'll be 1st and 10, moving left to right now. Van Alstyne. Howe trying to defend that south end zone. Van Alstyne from their own 33. Handoff Jones, man in the backfield. Brought down by Cameron Blessi from behind. A loss of maybe 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 12 coming up.
Zach Daniels as well is on that stop.
They'll spot the ball at the 31. So 7:30 on the clock and rolling here in the 3rd quarter. You know, the Bulldogs really need a big stop here. They haven't had just that huge, other than the fumble, they haven't had that one stop. Van Alstyne has not punted tonight. Neither team has. Rolling out right side. Proctor looks near side, and he's got his man. It's caught and brought down by Hartsfield at the 38-yard line.
Cooper Akins in on that stop as well.
It was Rhett Gallagher on the catch, 5'8", 152-pound sophomore, and he'll gain 4 yards, bringing up 3rd and 6 at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, Mr. Alexander's been pretty quiet tonight.
Yes, he has, and hope you didn't jinx anything there.
Right. Sorry, knock on wood, knock on wood.
You know, the Howe secondary did a marvelous job last week against Pottsboro, and here is Proctor looking that side, throwing, and he has his man and it's caught. 1st down, brought down right at the 1st down marker by Brennan Ross. It's going to be reception by Ty Cooper, who is a 5'10", 140-pound junior. Cooper has 7 catches, 109 yards coming in tonight, 1 touchdown. It's a big catch right there. And a 1st down for Van Alstyne at the 45-yard line, a gain of 8. Looking to the near side, and they finally get the play. Alexander split out wide right. Jones in the backfield to the right. He gets it, and he's brought down immediately by Helpenstill. A 3-yard loss in the backfield, back to the 42-yard line.
And that was a tremendous hit by Mike Helpenstill.
So the Panthers go backwards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 13. 5:51 and rolling. The Bulldogs really need a great series and a great stop right here to get some distance. 5:43, 5:41. They're just taking their time here. Down by 8. Of course, when you've got Jones, you can run the 2-point conversion as they've already seen. This is going to be Proctor rolling out right side to the near side, looking downfield, flag down, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds by Andrew Griffin and Jaden Matthews, who's in the game on defense for one of the very few times. But appears to be a holding call, Michael.
Yeah, it looks like Maxwell Nazarko made he was holding his block down here on this outside edge.
Yeah, up front for Van Alstyne. We didn't go over that earlier tonight.
No, we didn't. We didn't get the opportunity. It was so fast.
The left tackle is Rhett Covey. The left guard, Maxwell Nazarko. The center, Zane Madison. The right guard, Garth Dansby. The right tackle, Kason Miller. And the tight end, Mason Adams, who's actually a slot. And he rotates back and forth. 5:22 on the clock. After the penalty, it's 3rd and 10. They'll spot it at the 45-yard line. And this is going to be a fake to handoff and throwing it near side. That's going to be another catch close to the 1st down marker. Same play as a moment ago by Ty Cosper. He makes the catch, and it appears to be a 1st down, and they are going to move the sticks. So another big catch by the sophomore for another 1st down. The ball now stands at the Howe 45-yard line. 5:08 on the clock and rolling. As the clock starts, as they set the chains, 1st and 10. Left to right goes Van Alstyne. Handoff, Jones, near side, breaks 1 tackle, coming to the 40. He's got the 35 and pushed out of bounds by Cooper Akins near the 30-yard line. They'll spot it at the 32. What they do there is it's a shotgun formation, and Jones just basically steps in front of the quarterback who's in shotgun and runs straight down the line to the right side, trying to find a lane there, and he's been successful. This side, same play, other way. and he'll break a few tackles on his way to a 7 or 8 yard gain to the 25-yard line.
Andrew Griffin and J.P. Queen in on the stop.
Howe now has been on the field. The defense has been on the field for over 3 minutes. It's time to stop a drive as Van Alstyne now with a 2nd down and 3, deep in Howe territory. The right tackle from Van Alstyne is absolutely exhausted. 2nd down and 3. This is going to be Jones up the middle, fighting for yardage, spins forward, and he has the 1st down at the 17-yard line.
Jaden Matthews in on the stop.
The young man who is completely exhausted, the right tackle, is Kason Miller. But it's 1st and 10 for Van Alstyne. Shotgun. And this is going to be Jones brought down immediately for a loss at the 20, a 3-yard loss, as I believe that was help and Stell again.
It was. That was a completely misdirection play. That was a blown play right there.
2nd down, 13.
This next play will be the 10th play of the drive. The Bulldogs need a stand, need a stop as it's 2nd and 13. 3:35 on the 3rd quarter clock. Proctor in the gun, handoff. No, he's going to keep it right up the middle. He's got some room inside the 15 and down at the 12-yard line. Not enough for a 1st down, but a big gain there of 8 yards.
Jaden Matthews made the stop for the Bulldogs.
So a 3rd down and 5 situation coming up for the Panthers. 3:14 and rolling here in the 3rd quarter. The Bulldogs need a bend but not break situation here. Proctor, handoff, Jones coming near side. He's got the 18. He's got the 14 rather, and down at the 10-yard line. Close to a 1st down, but not enough. Going to be a couple of yards short. We are under the 3-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter.
Seth Seabolt and Tanner Hartsfield in on the stop.
12th play of the drive coming up, and a very, very long one. Over 5 minutes. The Panthers have had it. Playing keep away. That's what Howe does. Full house backfield. Handoff Jones. And now whistles stop before the play. And is it a timeout? Timeout's been called. 2:26. We will be back in just a moment. 28-20, Howe in the lead.
Think back to the best fried pies you've ever had. It won't compare to Sweetie Pies in Van Alstyne. Sweetie Pies has handmade apricot, apple, peach, buttermilk, chocolate, coconut, and lemon fried pies that melt in your mouth. Located at 120 South Main Street in Van Alstyne on the east side of downtown. Give them a call at 972-821-1508. You must try Sweetie Pie's signature fried pie, Sawdust. I'm not even kidding.
Well, we've got a great game here, and I'm not even kidding. 28-20, Howe in the lead. Van Alstyne knocking on the door at the 10-yard line. Facing a 4th and 3. 2:26 on the 3rd quarter clock, and the Panthers are walking back out on the field in their offensive formation. Howe called a timeout as Van Alstyne bunched together, got in a similar Howe-type offense, and Zach Hudson didn't like what he saw, called a timeout to talk about it. And now we have a 4th and 3. Same formation for Van Alstyne. Handoff. And that's going to be Jones on the far side. Actually, the quarterback keeper, apparently. I guess Proctor kept it. I was faked out. A moment ago, before the timeout, they handed it to Jones. And this time they faked it. And the ball rests at the 3-yard line after the 1st down. A huge 7-yard run by Proctor sets up a 1st and goal. Under center, Proctor, quarterback sneak, trying to push forward in the end zone, and it's going to be close. Hartsfield comes up with the football. He's running from one side to the other, and the whistles will blow. Hartsfield has the ball, and they're going to say that Proctor was down at the 1-yard line before the ball came out. Hartsfield came up with the ball. His hands are pointing toward the sky. Zach Hudson is wanting some clarification from the officials. Hartsfield's having to come back. Hartsfield standing at the 25-yard line. Now has to run all the way back. A new ball's coming in. Hartsfield's going to have to throw the ball away. The ball's still on the field. Somebody's going to have to come in for Hartsfield. They're going to try to snap it real quick. There's a ball on the field at the 45-yard line. Proctor is going to hand off up the middle. Nothing doing so far. No signal yet. And apparently Jones is down at the 1. You don't see that very often. And now Cameron Blesai with his helmet off is going to have to come out of the field. And coming into the game is Matt Griffin.
They are on that 1-inch line.
Bring up third down and go from the 1.
So this will be the 15th play of the drive. Proctor under center. Just pushes forward and he's in. Touchdown.
Wow.
Touchdown, Panthers. Proctor on the key.
Strap them tight. It's going to be a crazy finish. 28-26. Howe in the lead. You know the Panthers are going for 2 here on a 15-play drive that went 67 yards. And here's Jones to the right side of Proctor. Shotgun formation. Toss right side. Jones has a seam, and he is going to be not in. Down just before he got in.
Wow.
So Howe retains the 28-26 lead with 1:19 left to go in the third. Back in a moment with more Howe Bulldog football.
The Howe Athletic Booster Club invites you to become a supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
The type of kids we have, they're just hard workers and do anything you ask.
Memberships are $25 and will be available at all home games. All proceeds benefit high school and middle school athletic programs. Please join the Howe Athletic Booster Club in our efforts to support our hometown kids.
When people come here, you know, it's something they can be proud of.
A word from Douglas Propane.
Working at Douglas, you are a member of the family. You do get to see Brad and Diane and the members of the family. We've just entered into our 3rd generation of the family. Whitney has joined as credit manager. You're in there with the family, and they treat you as such. We appreciate our customer base in Howe and surrounding communities, and go Bulldogs. Have a great year.
We are back. Howe retains the 28-26 lead in the 54th Battle of the Silver Spike. 1:19 left to go in the third. And this is going to be another fake quail onside. Van Alstyne kicking from their own 40. As Howe will get the ball now with 1:19 left to go in the third. And this is going to be Seabolt on the catch coming near side. Breaks one tackle up to the 43-yard line. And that's where Howe will start with 1:15.
Stop by number 22.
Carter Morgan made the stop.
10 for the Bulldogs.
So Van Alstyne caps off a 15-play, 67-yard drive. That's very impressive. Proctor took it over from 1 yard out, and Jones couldn't get it in for the PAT. It's 28-26. Wall under center. Man in motion is Masters. He gets the carry. Lots of room out to the right side, trying to escape a defender. Can't do it. A great job by Adams to bring him down from the backside, but Masters does gain 3 up to the 46-yard line.
You know, this is a game we thought it was going to be.
This is a barn burner. We are under a minute left in the third. We're headed to the fourth quarter after one more play, and we have a 2-point game.
Woo! Breathe, Monty, breathe.
2nd down and 7 coming up. Man in motion, Masters. Wall's going to keep it over the right side. Can't spin out of a couple. Well, he does spin out of one tackle, but can't escape the other 2 and goes down after he crosses midfield at the 49-yard line inside Van Alstyne territory. And that will be the end, I believe. I don't know that they'll run another play here. They don't have to run another play here in the third quarter. It appears they're just going to let it go down. 12 seconds. They're going to let this one go down. 28-26, a barn burner in Van Alstyne. The 54th Battle of the Silver Spike. We'll be back in a moment with the fourth quarter in Van Alstyne.
You're invited to the one and only Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne, Texas. Your friends and neighbors say it's the best barbecue in North Texas. Now it's your turn to decide. Come taste the difference at Buck Snort Barbecue. For complete store information, including menu, location, and hours, click on bucksnortbarbecue.com. That's bucksnortbbq.com. Buck Snort Barbecue in downtown Van Alstyne is a proud supporter of the Howe Bulldogs.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, and I will always be a Bulldog. I'm a proud graduate of Howe High School. The great leadership from our teachers and coaches helped me be able to become one of the few certified criminal law specialists in Texas. While I love the black and white, in trials, everything is not always that way. If you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas, you need to call me now at 903-744-4252 for a free consultation. I'm board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas.
Back to action. We're starting the fourth quarter. Howe has the ball at the Van Alstyne 49-yard line. Moving left to right now. Handoff Grisham up the middle. And he bulls over a couple of defenders on his way to a first down run to the 43-yard line.
Moore Austin made the stop.
Tyler Grisham tonight has thundered, roared, bulled, churned, bulldozed, and steamrolled his way to first downs after first downs.
Yes, he has. He come in ready to play ball.
First and 10. Wall under center. Man in motion. Masters, he gets the hand. Trying to find the far corner. Trying to outrun a defender and turn that corner. Can't do it. It's going to be right back at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Maybe a loss, and it looks like a flag down behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a holding against Howe, and that's very costly.
Scott Taylor and Sam Rimpel made the stop.
So a 10-yard penalty. Holding calls are just killers. You know, false starts are bad, but holding calls will kill you. And now it'll be first and 20 as this pushes the ball all the way back in Howe territory at the 47-yard line. So a non-play there.
It's like Harvey split out wide.
Here's a handoff, left side Grisham, and he escapes one tackle, bulls over a defender back to what was the original line of scrimmage at the 43-yard line.
Mason Adams and Kason Miller in on the stop.
Wow, Grisham. I don't know how many adjectives we can come up with.
Peyton Reagan brought the play in.
Second down and 10, 2 men in the backfield. Matthews and Grisham. Wall's going to keep it. Over right guard, met and driven backwards. Gain of 2 before he was driven back. Third and long coming up.
Scott Taylor made the stop for the Panthers.
Ball at the 41-yard line. Howe pushing on a 3rd and 8. 10:33 left to go in the fourth, which I need to change because it still says the 3rd. Let me change that.
Change the board.
Thank you.
Seth Seabolt brings the play in. Looks like Kason Miller checked out for the Panthers.
Here comes everybody tight. Wall on the reverse to Masters. Cuts it up on the inside. It's going to be brought down after maybe a 4-yard gain to the 37, probably 36-yard line, I think is where they're going to spot it.
Moore Austin made the stop for the Panthers.
36-yard line.
Zane Madison checked into the game for the Panthers, and Grayson Liner checked out.
7th play of the drive coming up for Howe. 9:42 left to go in the game. Up by 2, needing to push it in here. Wall under center. Handoff to Tyler Grisham. Not much doing there. They were ready for that one. And now a late flag comes down. That was 4th down. My apologies, that was 4th down. It's going to be a holding against Howe, and that will be declined. So Van Alstyne gets a big stop for really the first time, and this could smell trouble. 9:31 left to go in the game. Van Alstyne has stopped Howe at the 36.
Yeah, I believe they called that against Tim Heppenstall.
That is remarkably huge. as the 15 yards will now go up and push Van Alstyne, starting the ball with 9:31 left to go in the game at the Howe 49-yard line. This is dangerous. Alexander split out wide right, but I bet you can get a dose of Levi Jones right here. And he will stand in the backfield along with Proctor. And this will be a handoff. Actually, Proctor's going to keep it around the left edge. He's got a lot of room. Got the 40, got the 35. 30 brought down at the 23-yard line. Brennan Ross and Seth Siebold bring him down, but a big gain to the 21-yard line. 28-yard run for Proctor, and Van Alstyne is in great shape to take the lead here with 9:18 and rolling.
Yeah, Proctor went just right straight up the middle.
Howe could not convert on the 4th and 3. They went to Grisham one more time, and the Panthers were ready for it. 8:56 and rolling. First down and 10. Proctor in the gun. Handoff to Jones, who scoots and skittles his way to the 15-yard line.
Brennan Ross and Ty Harvey in on the stop for the Bulldogs.
So a 6-yard gain brings up second down and 4 with 8:30 on the clock. Howe needs a turnover right here, or another stand. They need to force a 4th down situation. And the only way Howe has done that tonight is to get a turnover. Jones fumbled early in the game, which led to Howe points. Jones will stand to the right side of Proctor, and he'll get the carry up the middle and brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Hartsfield was right there along with J.P. Queen. A loss on the play will push it back to the 16-yard line. Loss of 1, 3rd down and 6 coming up. You know Van Alstyne's going to go for it on 4th, so you really have 2 plays left. They will not attempt a field goal. I can almost assure you they will not attempt a field goal because they've missed 2 PATs.
Yes, they have.
7:36, and subsequently they're down by 2. And this is going to be Proctor throwing it across to the left side. It's going to be caught, and into the end zone is Leinert. And Van Alstyne has taken the lead for the first time since the very first series. 32-28 awaiting the PAT.
Looks like J.P. Queen come up kind of limping on that.
So with a 2-point lead, do you send your kicker in and chance it, or go for the 4-point lead? And I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, he's missed 2, so I don't think I would send him in to kick it.
Proctor in the gun, looks over to the near side. Jones stands to his left for the moment. Leinert split out wide left. Wilson in the slot. Alexander up top, split out wide right. Proctor now knows the play. Wants it, gets it. Handoff Jones up the middle, and he's not going to get it. He's brought down by Hartsfield, and they only score 6. And now Van Alstyne has the 4-point lead with 7:24 left to go in the game. Back in a moment with more Howe Bulldog football.
In this very football season, we will experience extreme heat followed by the changing of the leaves and finally feel the cold chill of the November rain. Life changes, and sometimes it changes too fast. When you lose a loved one, you need a place of comfort and trust. Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory of Van Alstyne will provide you with that care. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins invite you to talk to their caring staff. They take pride in their responsibility to lighten your burden as you take the first steps towards healing.
Do you love coffee? Wish there was a local coffee shop to study, work, and get the best coffee drinks and baked goods in Texas? Carrie's Coffee Company in downtown Van Alstyne is your dream come true. Carrie's Coffee Company serves the highest quality organic coffee and espresso drinks like cafe mocha, caramel macchiato, and cappuccino, plus iced coffee frappes with your favorite flavor. Visit Carrie's Coffee Company in downtown Van Alstyne next to the post office, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to noon, and Saturday, 7 a.m. to noon.
Van Alstyne to boot this one away from their own 30, leading 32-28. 7:24 left to go in the game. Scott Taylor will kick it away. A line drive kick going to be taken by Mason Riggs at the 8-yard line. Going to the far side around that far corner and brought down at the 25-yard line. And Howe will take over there as they'll spot it right at the 26, I believe. No, the 25.
Chase Colburn and Sam Rimpel in on the stop.
Grab your socks and pull. It is going to be a bumpy ride.
Yes, it is.
Bulldogs will scrimmage from their own 26-yard line.
Here comes Howe from their own 26. And this is going to be a handoff. First man through, Grisham. Gain of 2.
Carter Morgan made contact for the Panthers.
Ball spotted at the 28-yard line now.
In there for the Panthers.
And boy, the Bulldogs really need to get it going here. For the first time, we're turned back a moment ago on a 4th and 3. Gave it to Grisham, and he was stuffed.
Ty Harvey brings the play in.
2nd down and 8 coming up. And now that big play, Hartsfield took the ball away from Jones at the goal line. That kind of, here's Wall on the keeper, bounces out of a tackle, moves up to the 32-yard line, and that's where they'll mark him. So now a 3rd down and 4 coming up.
Coy Beck, Chase Wilson, and Landon Pardee in on the stop.
Well, the Panthers have brought in Alexander at safety. They're thinking a pass might be coming up with 6:07 left to go in the game. That clock is a-churning.
Harvey split out wide.
3rd and 4. Wall goes under center. Toss right side. That's Matthews trying to find the corner. Splits one defender up to the 35-yard line. Close to a first down, but it's going to be maybe a yard short, a half a yard short. 4th and 1 coming up. Oh, boy. Oh, doctor. 4th and 1 coming up. 5:41 on the clock. Van Alstyne just kept the ball for a very long time, so you got to go for it here at your own 35.
Yes, you do.
Elvington brings the play in. Here we go. Harvey goes under center. 5:27 left to go in the game. 4th and 1. Wall goes under center. Handoff. Grisham. First down at the 38-yard line. 37-yard line.
D'Angelo Alexander made the stop.
Needed 1, got 2, and Howe stays alive. 5:20 left to go in the game. Harvey brings the play in.
Scott Taylor checked out for the Panthers, and Dylan Pruitt checked in.
1st down and 10. Clock still rolling. Wall goes under center. Wants to throw the football. Rolling out left side. Throws it down the field. A man is there, and it's intercepted at the 37-yard line. On the pick for Van Alstyne is Landon Pardee. Howe tried to catch him napping, couldn't do it. And now a late flag comes down.
Looks like Van Alstyne may have got a sideline warning.
So Van Alstyne, after the looks like a personal foul, it will move the ball back, and they will start at their own 22. And it's all about killing the clock time now. There's 4:57 on the clock. Howe desperately needs a stop. Not out of this yet. Down by 4. 4:57 left to go in the game. A lot of time. But the defense, that Black Plague, is going to have to step up right here. And you're not going to get any help from the clock right here. Proctor in the gun, handoff Levi Jones. Skirts through, and he's got some room. Look out to the 40. He's got the 50. It's a foot race to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Kiss him goodbye. That is a very, very long touchdown, 78 yards. And that puts the exclamation point on this spike, it appears. 4:42 left to go in the game, and Van Alstyne now has a 10-point advantage. One play, 88 yards. A very talented runner came in with over 800 yards. Scott Taylor to boot this one through for the PAT, and somebody's offsides. The flag comes in. It looks like it's going to be against Howe. It is defensive offsides, and that will move the ball just a little bit closer on the PAT. For the moment, it's 38-28. Van Alstyne in the lead, and it appears the spike will stay in Van Alstyne another year. But there is still 4:42 left to go.
There is still 4:42 left to go.
Scott Taylor on for this PAT. Movement again by Howe. This time it's on the tee. The kick is up. It's very high for the first time tonight. Scott Taylor has put it through. So they capitalize on the turnover and score on the 88-yard touchdown by Levi Jones. Lead 39-28 with 4:42 left to go. Back in a moment with more Howe Bulldog football.
Abby's Restaurant is family owned and run. They have the cure for all your home cooking cravings. Chicken fried steak, loaded baked potato, bacon patty melt, grilled chicken salad, cheese fries, jalapeno stuffed peppers, and more. Don't forget to save room for that cheesecake and cobbler with ice cream. We know you're going to love the food and the service. Abby's Restaurant in downtown Howe. Give them a call, 903-487-8860. Abby's Restaurant.
Calling all Bulldog fans to come down to the Sonic in Howe for half-price shakes after 8 and open until midnight. Home games only.
Where you get great food and big smiles, and a little message for our Howe Bulldog football players. Go Bulldogs, fight Bulldogs, win, win, win. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Welcome back. 4:42 left to go in the game. 39-28. Van Alstyne in the lead. Still time. And Taylor's going to try to kick this one deep. And he does. Looks like it's going to be Brent Masters who's going to take it 2 yards deep in the end zone after he muffed it. And Howe's going to be brought down at their own 12, 13-yard line.
Brent Masters on the return.
So Howe will have to go. Whew.
First down, 10 for the Bulldogs.
87 yards with 4:37 left twice.
Bulldogs will
Yeah, that last drive, Van Alstyne holding that ball for that long quarter just kills us.
So here comes Howe back on the field. 4:37 left to go in the game. Traveling left to right towards that south end zone. Deep in their own territory at their own 13. Wall wants to pass, rolling out right, looking down the field, and now he's going to have to tuck it. He throws it across the middle, and it's going to be almost intercepted. Trying to hit Mason Riggs, and Wilson was right there to knock it away, but Wilson, I thought for a moment, had position, and now it'll be second down and 10. Probably not a great decision to force that in, because that could have been disaster. You get in that situation where there's nobody really there, you just kind of throw it away.
Right. Yeah, I agree. That's one of them decisions there that almost cost you.
Wall sends a man in motion, and they're going to hand off to Grisham coming left, and he'll have 4 yards out to the 16-yard line, so give him actually 3. And now
Mason Adams made the stop.
Looks like 3rd and 5 coming up. We're at the 4-minute mark. Chase Harvey has the ball in his hand at center. Wall now gets it. Handoff. Mason Riggs coming near side. Bumped down at the 21-yard line. Not enough for the first down. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 1.
Scott Taylor made the tackle for the Panthers.
Elvington comes in. And Grisham comes back out. 4th and 1. 329 and rolling. Handoff, left side, Grisham. This time he has the first down and more. Look out. He's got the 40. 45 is a foot race and brought down at the 45-yard line. A great job out there to bring him down. Landon Pardee, the senior. Speed plays a factor, a huge factor in football, and that saved a touchdown as Grisham broke free all the way to the 43-yard line.
Grisham split out wide with Harvey.
Wall rolls out that way. Wants to throw the ball down the field, and it's going to be incomplete. Trying to hit Mason Riggs. Covered by Alexander. No flags, and 3:03 on the clock. 2nd down and 10 coming up. 6th play of the drive coming up. But Howe needs to score quickly. And not surprising anybody now at this stage of the ball game, throwing passes down the field is not really catching anybody napping. But it may clear the box a little bit. Wall under center. Hands off. First man through. Matthews, he's got a seam. He's got the 31-yard line, a first down, and that'll stop the clock momentarily with 2:56. Ball spotted at the 31-yard line.
D'Angelo Alexander made the stop.
First down at 10 as the chains are about to be set, which means the clock's about to roll. Tyler Grisham, or actually Harvey, brings the play in. 2:44 on the clock. Wall under center. Toss, right side. That's Matthews trying to find the corner, cuts it up inside to the 25-yard line. A gain of about 7, but the clock is rolling.
Ben Williams made the stop for the Panthers.
Ball at the 25-yard line. 8th play of the drive coming up, and this is going to be a handoff up the middle, and nothing doing there. Up to maybe 2 yards to the 23. 2:11 on the clock. 2:10. 2:09. Wall goes under center. 3rd down. Grisham, left side. First down at the 19-yard line. They'll move the chains, which will stop the clock for a moment at 2:01.
Good downfield blocking by Tanner Hartsfield.
Howe's got to get in the end zone in a hurry. Wall under center. And they'll hand to Masters coming from one side to the other. Tries to cut it up over right guard and is going to be brought down after a 2-yard gain. And a timeout's been called by Howe with 1:51. We'll keep it right here.
Justin Barnes made the stop for the Panthers.
Ball spotted right now at the 17-yard line. Masters got 2. Howe's going to have to score immediately. This drive started with 4:42 on the clock, which was nearly 3 minutes ago. And Howe has started from their own 13. So make that right now it's a 70-yard drive right now. But they need 17 more quickly.
Yeah, they score here. They still have a little time.
Well, you score here, you onside kick, and you better get the football if you want a prayer.
Right.
But you got to score here first or none of it matters. Howe's facing a 2nd down and 8. But the biggest thorn in Howe's side right now is that big old clock just beyond the north end zone. 1:51 is what it reads. As Howe comes back. 2nd down and 9. One man in the backfield is Matthews all by himself. Wall rolls right behind him and now hands to him right side. Looks like he's got a touchdown. It's touchdown time in Texas. He fooled me. He rolled out right, stuck it in the gut of Matthews, and he scored. So 1:45 on the clock, and Matthews scores on a 17-yard touchdown.
Looks like they're going to may go for 2.
That brings it 39-34. awaiting this PAT or 2-point conversion. And that's smart because if they go for 2, they can get an onside and kick a field goal and tie the game. Going under center is Wall, trying for the 2-point conversion. Stacking the line is Van Alstyne. This will be a handoff right side Matthews, and he is in for the 2-point conversion. That narrows the gap, 39-36. Don't go anywhere. 1:45 left to go in the game. Back in a moment with more Howe Bulldog football.
If you haven't been to downtown Howe lately, you might be surprised. All the buildings are full, including the unique retail experiences of Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium. Located at 107 and 109 East Haining Street, the 2 antique and gift shops offer unique items that are rarely available in the Howe area, but with Howe area prices. Come and enjoy this trip back in time to the Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium, open noon to 8, Thursdays through Saturday. Howe Mercantile and Texas Home Emporium.
What is Cabinet Home Theater? Do we only do those big fancy media rooms? Heck no. We started in 1978 installing TV antennas. Guess what? We still do and get over 40 Dallas channels that way for our customers. Along the way, we had requests to install speakers, mount TVs, or install dish, so now we do it all. From hooking up a TV with a soundbar to whole house audio with all the bells and whistles. Visit CabinerHT.com to see all we have to offer or call 903-892-3499.
It all comes down to this onside kick. 1:45 left to go in the game. Howe trails 39-36 to VA in the 54th Silver Spike. Here's the onside kick. It's up, takes a high bounce, and it goes out of bounds. And that'll be Van Alstyne ball. So Van Alstyne will take possession near midfield with 1:45 left to go in the game. Howe has 1 timeout left.
1 timeout.
So now, instead of, let's see, the ball went out of bounds at the 44-yard line, or 45 they'll say, so they're going to spot it right at midfield.
They will scrimmage from the 50-yard
And you better believe Tanner Hartsfield will be trying to strip that football.
Yes, he will.
And all of his teammates. 1:45 on the clock. Alexander breaks the huddle early, comes out near side. He knows he's not getting the ball. They're going to run the football right here. Proctor handoff, Levi Jones bouncing it out to the left side. Is going to be stopped at the 48-yard line.
Ty Harvey, Tanner Hartsfield in on the stop. You know that we call Tanner's name a lot, and Tanner's a good ball player. He's a lot like his dad and plays hard nonstop from start to finish.
2nd down and 8 coming up. More importantly, there's 1:14 on the clock and rolling. Howe did not choose to use their timeout right there. And this will be a handoff again. Jones up the middle, brought down by Zach Daniels at the 47-yard line, a gain of 1. Exactly 1 minute on the clock, and a timeout has been called. They'll actually spot the ball at the 47, so no gain there. Exactly 1 minute on the clock, and Van Alstyne has a 3rd and 8. You've got to hold. There's still a chance, a very, very slim chance, but there's still a chance. You've got to hold on this 3rd down.
Yeah, Van Alstyne gets the first, and it's over. So you need to stop them here and make them do something they don't want to do.
And you would imagine the Panthers are going to be conservative right here. And here comes the Black Plague. 3rd and 7. 2 men in the backfield. Shotgun, handoff, Jones, right side, met in the backfield, brought down right there. No gain, 4th down and 7 coming up, but the clock is under a minute, no way to stop it. They're going to have to take one more snap on 4th down. There is about 13 seconds in between the game clock and the play clock. As it appears Howe will have the football with about 13 seconds left. And you know they're going to call a timeout with 1 second on the play clock and try to punt this one and pin it deep. You would imagine. Play clock's at 2-1. A timeout's been called. That leaves exactly 15 seconds on the clock. And a 4th down and 7. We'll keep it right here. Ball at the 47-yard line. 46-yard line.
You know, I have seen Van Alstyne in the past. Matter of fact, I saw him do it against a Bulldog team that my son was on. Snap the ball and just run around until the clock ran out.
Yep.
On 4th down. You know, I don't want that to happen. I'd rather them punt the ball and, you know, everything go our way and Howe score, or Bulldogs way, and Howe score a touchdown.
Howe has scored 36 points tonight, which is the most Howe has scored on Van Alstyne since 1998. And is the 4th most ever.
Well.
And it all comes down to this. 15 seconds on the clock, and they are going to punt it away. Howe does not have a timeout left. So if Andrew Griffin catches it, we'll see what he does. 15 seconds. And a high snap, it goes over the head. And he'll run around and try to kick this one, and he does. And it goes over the head and out of bounds at the 30-yard line. 7.9 seconds left to go in the game, and that could have been amazing. The ball went over the head snapped over the head of Alexander, but he somehow got back and retrieved it. And since he's left-footed, the ball was going his way anyway, and he punted it away left-footed. It was a sloppy end-over-end punt. But Alexander did a marvelous job of getting that one away.
Woo. This is going to be it's been a great ball game
Can
tonight.
you get much better than that? Than this game. I know you can get better because you need to be on the plus side of the points, but what a game this is. 1st down and 10. That doesn't matter. 7.9 left to go. Wall wants to throw the home run ball deep down the left side. Going up for it is Harvey, and it falls incomplete. No flag. He was covered by 2, and somehow that took 7.9 seconds, and the game is over, and the spike remains in Van Alstyne. The officials are talking at the center stripe, but apparently this ball game's over. The players are lining up on the 50. They're going to put some time back on this clock, I think. No, I guess not. I thought they were going to put some time back on. What a barn burner and what a game here in Howe and Van Alstyne, as Van Alstyne makes it 10 in a row over Howe in the Silver Spike. And they now have 35 wins to 17 on Howe. And just a tough loss.
Yes, it was.
You know, it came down to turnovers, and you thought it would. Brandon Wall threw the interception, and they capitalized on that. Levi Jones fumbled. Howe capitalized on that. But all in all, a very, very good football game played by 2 excellent teams here tonight. And now the Howe Bulldogs will face their fans, hold their heads up high on a tough loss here at Panther Stadium in Van Alstyne as we're getting ready for the school song. And the spike presentation appears to be taking place with Van Alstyne. Here's the Howe school song. A dejected Howe Bulldog team walking over to their head coach at the 25-yard line. And what a great game it was tonight. But on the losing end, for the Howe Bulldogs, 39-36 here in Van Alstyne. Let's recap this one and get the heck out of this place, Michael.
Right.
The Van Alstyne Panthers started with the football to start the game at their own 35-yard line, and they drove 7 plays, 65 yards, and it was a sophomore quarterback Proctor to Wilson touchdown of 17 yards, and it was Scott Taylor who missed the extra point to give the Panthers an early 6-0 lead. We were seeing if the spike, there's the spike being brought out, I believe. Dadgummit. That's mine. Give it back. So Howe took the ball, trailing 6-0 with 8:12 left to go in the first quarter. They drove 6 plays, 71 yards, and Tyler Grisham took it over from 1 yard out. Honeker's kick gave Howe the 7-6 lead, and that was the first lead of the game for the Bulldogs. Van Alstyne right back drove 13 yards, drove 5 plays and 68 yards and capped off a 13-yard touchdown by Levi Jones. And there's the spike being hoisted in the air by the Van Alstyne Panthers as 10 in a row over the Howe Bulldogs. And Howe got the ball back, trailing 14-7. Thank you, Jonathan. Trailing 14-7. Howe took it at their own 13-yard line as Jaden Matthews took the kick, stepped out of bounds as he caught it with 2:21 left to go in the first. But Howe drove 13 plays and 87 yards and capped it off with a 2-yard touchdown by Jaden Matthews, and that tied the game at 14. Van Alstyne took the ball with 8:06 left to go in the second quarter and fumbled. Hartsfield recovered it, which gave Howe the ball in great shape. Howe took advantage of it and scored on a Brandon Wall 16-yard touchdown, and that ended the 5-play, 36-yard drive. Howe led 21-14 at that point, but here comes Van Alstyne right back. 14 plays, 65 yards, and a 14-yard touchdown pass from Proctor to Wilson. The missed PAT again gave Howe the lead, left them with the lead, 21-20. Howe got the ball back with 3:03 left to go before the half, and this time it was Beck from Van Alstyne who intercepted Wall's pass, and Howe ended the first half 21-20. Howe started the second half in great shape with a 7-play, 75-yard drive. A 6-yard touchdown extended Howe's lead 28-20, but Van Alstyne's drive 15 plays and 67 yards took an enormous amount of time off the clock. Proctor took it in from 1 yard out, and Howe retained a 28-26 lead at that point. The Bulldogs got the ball back, and this is where it happened. With 1:15 left to go in the third, the Dogs drove 6 plays all the way down to the 36-yard line, faced a 4th and 3, went to their horse Tyler Grisham again, but this time the Bulldogs came up empty and they turned it over on downs. And that gave Van Alstyne a chance to take the lead for the first time since the very first possession of the game, and they did so on a 3-play, 49-yard drive. And it was a 16-yard touchdown from Proctor to Leinert, and that gave Van Alstyne a 32-8 lead. Howe took the ball and landed Pardee, intercepted it, which gave Van Alstyne the ball again. They upped their lead with an 88-yard touchdown by Levi Jones. And boy, you take that one play away and you think, man, So at that point, after that 88-yard touchdown, Van Alstyne led 39-28. Howe still not dead with 4:42 left to go in the game as the Bulldogs drive 87 yards on 10 plays and score on what amounts to the Boomerooski to Jaden Matthews. He took it in for the 2-point conversion, and all of a sudden it's a 39-36 game. The onside kick did not go Howe's way. Van Alstyne took possession with 1:45 left to go in the game at midfield. Howe forced a punt with only 15 seconds. They took possession of the game, but failed to score, and the 54th Battle of the Silver Spike is in the books. Van Alstyne wins 39-36 in an absolute classic, a barn burner, one for the ages, but not in the Bulldogs' favor. And again, the 36 points for Howe is the most that they've scored on Van Alstyne since 1998 when they put 41 on them. Other than that, Howe put 40 on Van Alstyne in 1979. And that's it. That's the third most points Howe's ever put on Van Alstyne in the 54 meetings. But it wasn't enough tonight as Howe gave up 39 and falls just short, Michael.
Yeah, and it was the game that we talked about before. It was the game that we thought it was going to be. Both teams played really hard. Just unfortunately, it come up snake eyes for the Bulldogs.
Well, that's not only the Battle of the Silver Spike is one thing, but now the Dogs are in that situation in District 5-3A where they're in a dogfight of their own in the district now. There are no cupcakes on this schedule, as Zach Hudson has said many a times. But how coming up, you're looking at Whitesboro and Pilot Point and Callisburg, and you still got a lot of football left, and you've got to basically win out.
Yes, you do.
And the Bulldogs wanting to do so, and I have a feeling Zach Hudson will have them in place for next week. And boy, we were just moments away, I thought, from one of the greatest finishes of games that I've ever seen, but just a little bit short tonight. Michael, any final touches you want to put on this thing? Let's go over some scores.
Yeah, let's go over, our district tonight. Pilot Point played Whitesboro and beat them 10-9.
Wow.
And then you roll around up here, and it looks like Pottsboro is going to walk away with that one in Callisburg, 56-0. So, we got to fight our way out, but the Bulldogs will. They come in, they fight hard. So,
well, you got to be proud to be a Bulldog. It's a tough loss tonight, but just an absolute great football game, and I don't think anyone can argue that point.
No, sir.
The Bulldogs did what they do. They were, almost unstoppable tonight on offense, but that one drive, it came down to a 4th and 3, and that turned this ball game around. And you go to that Tyler Grisham well so many times because it worked so many times tonight. Grisham was amazing on 4th downs, but on the final one, they went to that well maybe 1-2 times, once too many, and come up short.
Yep.
So 39-36 in the 54th Battle of the Silver Spike. Maybe next year for the Spike. We'll just keep trying for that.
We'll keep trying.
To get that trophy in our trophy case. For everyone who's been a part of this one, including Jonathan Coleman, who's probably on his way back on Highway 5 right now. For Michael Mosier, the spectacular work that he always does. I am Monty Walker, and we will see you in 1 week for some more Howe Bulldog football here on HoweEnterprise.com.